That I had court today. Oh boy, they got to me quick this morning. Got quick. They're quick over there. In and out. So let me bring in Mr. Landtown, Mr. O'Shea, and then let me just describe, fellas. Give me a second here. It's me and the people. The word from down there that I'm getting is that they're speculating all over the metaverse. Oh, Paulie Boy's lying again. He's frauding. I'm making up arrests that are on record. I'm making up courts. I'm making up arrests. I'm making up court dates. Fascinating. So they showed me a new one today. Just when you think you've seen it all, they show you some new shit. So we show up, prosecutors dealing with other people. You know, they heard about one or two cases. It's a 9:00 meeting, according to the paperwork, non-paperwork. It was about 9:30 when they called my given and family name. Had a whole written claim that I was going to read into the record. Didn't even get to it because the prosecutor wouldn't speak. The Mr. and Mrs. State of New Mexico didn't present, oddly enough. I did remind the administrator woman that we have two victims listed on the charging instrument, neither which are present today at this time. So I don't see how we could move forward with this matter. I require discharge at this time. So she then said, the court would move in favor of a discharge if you would have just signed the waiver of counsel when they let you out of jail. She goes, you didn't sign the waiver of counsel. I go, okay, Mrs. Such and Such. If we're going to go down this road, then I'll just send over a signed affidavit for your legal team, for your risk management team, to cover the liability. I'm sure you don't want me to sign that waiver of counsel because right at the top it says, I understand that if things go bad in this case, I'm facing X amount of days imprisonment. Well, why would I sign a bizarre document like that right above the attorney counsel waiver? So no, I won't be signing that. And she put it over for another pretrial hearing. So we could do pretrial all year. I told her I may or may not be back presenting at the next meeting. I told her, thank you, ma'am. Closed off the camera, walked off. She didn't even give me notice that I may or may not be charged or arrested. She did say that to Jennifer because Jennifer attempted to kind of follow up with the same thing that I was presenting. So she gave her the notice and the warning. I suspect it's to kind of intimidate her a little bit, test her, see where she's at, make her a little bit fearful, kind of doubt what I'm doing, and also kind of to prove a point. If you're going to do what you're going to do, it's got to come. I'm not saying what she was saying didn't come completely from her heart. It's just that once I play the card and then someone else in the room tries to play the card, it just doesn't have the same effect oftentimes, energetically, if nothing else. So, we're all learning. We all have our own way of going about this. We all have our own beliefs, our own process and procedure that we're learning, But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? If the two victims listed do not present and will not address me, then how can we move forward with a trial or anything else? We have no one on the other side, So again, she pulled a rabbit out of the hat. As these pimpers and mackers are known to do. Paulie boy, we'd love to discharge right now since there's no one on the other side. She even called out for the officer. Is officer such and such here? I'm going to call him again twice. Oh, no, he's not there because I knew he wouldn't show up. He's not going to show up and testify all them lies he put on that affidavit. He'd be a fool to show up and try to testify with all them lies he put down there and try to drag this to trial. So they want to kick the can down the road another month and a half. Which is good for me because I'm going to be relocating anyway. So we'll do another meeting pre-trial with no one on the other side. And maybe after the signed affidavit is put on the record, and I'm going to make this one good too. I'm going to put civil procedure does not apply to I. And I'm going to sign that. Paulie Boy of the Laporta family, ambassador of God. And then right underneath in a nice little box like they do, I'm going to put waive right to counsel. So that technically it's not on my claim, but it's still on the paper, and she'll get a good kick out of that, I suppose. This is all a game, folks. This governance is an act. It's a play. It's a performance. Like the intro says, courting is a lot the same way. You can find with women, it's the same. It's an act. It's a play. It's a performance a lot of the time. You can argue we're all players on the stage, the world stage in life, right? All of life, in a sense, is an act, a play, or performance, right? So I'm sure a bit of that was to save face. I'm sure a bit of that is to get me in jurisdiction. Because if I'm dumb enough to go down there and sign that waiver of counsel, well, they just got jurisdiction. And I'm basically saying I understand that XYZ. For all I know, if I sign that fucking paper, that prosecutor's going to start yapping. Mr. Summers, I believe his name was. Because I was waiting. They had no problem yapping for the two slaves before me. But after a certain point up in Colorado, the prosecutor stopped talking. No matter what happens when I get arrested, prosecutor don't talk no more for some weird reason. And unless there's another man or woman on the other side, who's going to move the case? Can't move the case as an administrator. So, we'll kick the can down the road another month. I have no problem with that. I may or may not present at the next meeting. I'm almost like leaning on just completely going, I don't think you guys got anything legal or lawful. I really don't. I think I could take this whole case though as the person, But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'll give them another month, or they'll give themselves another month, and hopefully that cop or the other man who apparently said we were trespassing, the owners of property we were purchasing. It's kind of strange, but hopefully, faithfully, either the cop or Mr. and Mrs. State of New Mexico or Mr. Hubbard, I believe his name is, synchronistically enough. Not Zachary Hubbard. Maybe he's related to them. But maybe Mr. Hubbard will show his face and he can testify as to how I victimized him. Maybe Mr. and Mrs. State of New Mexico can show up and explain how I victimized them, since they're both listed as victims on the charging instrument. I would never want to believe that someone somewhere is doing constructive fraud. So, hey, no problem. I don't have to sign the attorney waiver of counsel. This is so ridiculous, too. She goes, you didn't sign the attorney waiver of counsel, so I can't take your motions. I said, I'm not motioning. I'm not an attorney. I'm requiring under the law that this matter be discharged because there's no man or woman on the other side, and I can't face my accusers. What was I going to say? What did she say? Now I'm drawing a blank here. I just had something that I wanted to share, another aspect of what went on. All right, well, no matter. Brian O'Shea, Mr. Landtower here. It's always kind of the same story. Pretty much the same story in all these matters. Questions, gentlemen, comments, concerns, your own thoughts?
Did you get into the
go ahead.
The public and private at all? Did you ask, is it true there's a public jurisdiction, a private jurisdiction, or you just sit on that as a given that they know about already?
I was going to do that just for the record, because at some point when this is over, I plan on getting the Zoom video. I didn't record, to be honest with you, I kind of woke up and had 20 minutes, and between me fixing the internet and getting it up and running and, whatever else, it wound up using her laptop. So I'm not, I know I should get it and whatever else. I'm really not as interested in, I want, as the content creator, I want to record everything and bring it here. As the man, I'm aware that I already do enough yapping here. I already do enough conflating the public and private jurisdiction. I already kind of put on and pimp and mac enough and challenge and test and all the rest of it. I'm not necessarily looking to be recording their proceedings and get into the conversation of whether or not I can or can't do that. I know I can do whatever I want, and I can probably argue anything based on what's true and correct, or just my conviction. But typically with these incidents, especially when my technology is not working correctly and I'm worried about being there and kind of, hearing this matter, I'm not going to focus on that. So there's got to be some way to retrieve these videos. There was about 15 other people at this court, 10 other people. So I would have to believe that they're recording these proceedings. They might even be live played somewhere. You could have prepared better. Like waking up earlier. You could suck my fucking dick. How about you pay me to prepare better so I can do what you haven't done yet, and then I can bring you a video of me at court for you to fap to. How about that? Tell me what the fuck I could and not do. You could wake up as early as you want, you bitch ass slave. I don't know who you are, but I'm going to gamble here. You could wake up as early as you want. You ain't going to do shit. You ain't going to present at court the way that I do. You're too much of a fucking coward. Why would I wake up earlier for you to bring you a fucking video of how I present at court so you can decide maybe to be a fucking man one day? No, I don't have to. If I want to, I will. If I don't want to, I won't. And you'll be lucky if I decide to subpoena them at some point, or rather to file with them to get that documentation, that video, which I will do. So you fucking hold your horses. You sit back and you fucking wait till daddy's ready, until the court case is finished, and you get what the fuck I give you. And you say, thank you, daddy. Thank you for bringing your endeavors, your exploits, your experience to me so I can sponge it the fuck up and become a better man. You don't tell me to wake up earlier. I'll wake up when the fuck I feel like it so I can be rested to do the work you won't do, lazy bitch ass motherfucker. At this point, I don't have to work, so I've gotten real comfortable, too comfortable, some might say. I don't like waking up before 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I don't need to. I don't like that. I like the sun to be well up by the time I'm up already, just so that I can like stretch and go, can't imagine what it's like to be a bitch ass beta male motherfucker who had to run down to work and have a daddy boss today tell him what to do and how to live. Yeah, I'm just rolling out of bed and you've already been at work 2 hours, slaving away for your daddy boss and waiting to give him a third of what the fuck you make. Status trash. You don't tell me what the fuck to do and how to live. I tell you what to do and how to live. And if you're lucky, right? If you're smart, then you listen. You don't necessarily do it, right? I'm not telling you, because then I might say you're stupid. If you just came here and I just told you online what to do and be, and you just fucking listened implicitly, then I go the other way and say you might be a moron. But at least listen, right? And then deduce for yourself, presuming you can, what's true and correct, what's not, what's beneficial for you and what's not. Your thoughts on that, Brian O'Shea? On this pathetic slave who had the nerve to conjugate the name and the moniker and try to disrespect me right off the bat here, instead of saying thank you to me and Mr. Lantow, Mr. Lantow, Mr. Lantow. I had to say it 3 times. That's the new bit. Instead of him coming here and offering to wash our fucking feet and thank us for what he's not doing that we're doing over and over again, he had the nerve to disrespect me. Your thoughts on that, Brian O'Shea? I want to hear you. Where are you? Pipe up.
Yeah, it's like they just shoot out these little fucking snippets in chat as quick as a cop will shoot a citizen slave. Fucking, but they won't have a video of themselves, or they won't come up on panel and just fucking, talk about their experiences, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Could you imagine this pathetic slave who, if he was charged with charges there that say 180 days for each of them and 3 of them, could you imagine? He wouldn't have slept. That's why he wants to tell me to wake the fuck up early, because if his bitch ass was charged with what the fuck was on that paperwork with me, he wouldn't even be able to go to sleep, let alone wake up earlier. He'd already be up. Hi, administrator judge. I didn't get any sleep last night because I'm your fucking bitch, and I live in a whole state of fear all my life. You ran my whole night and my morning. No, I'm not going to live like that. Even if I feel fear, and if I have fear at times and insecurities, I've decided I'm not going to live like that. Went right to fucking sleep, and I set the alarm for like 15 to 20 minutes before I had to be on there. Barely even took a shit and had a shower. Time to fucking address these slaves. Okay? And when I say address these slaves, I'm really talking mostly about the other citizen slaves, not me. I'm not a citizen slave. The other citizen slaves around me who kind of look like men and women, but not really. You know, they just show up and fucking bend over. By the way, there was 3 prosecutor people I've seen so far this week, not at that court specifically, but just in general, and they all look the same. Same hair, same glasses, same Poindexter affect, same fucking way of presenting. It's like they make these people. Telling you, there's something in this realm. They literally farm or house They're housing and farming people somewhere, and they're releasing them onto the rest of us because they look the same, they sound the same, they have the same energy, and they all do the same fucking jobs and positions. Rather bizarre. You got any other questions, Brian O'Shea? What did you get charged with? I didn't get charged with anything. The person known as, all caps, is charged with trespassing, concealing identity, and how do they call it? Unlawful possession of a deadly weapon. Because it was concealed. Someone somewhere believes, I don't know, maybe I don't think the court believes that at this time, but maybe the cops or someone on the ground believes that I have to tell someone how I carry self-defense equipment and I have to carry it the way they say, which is kind of odd. It's kind of bizarre. It's my property. I'll carry it however the fuck I want, and I have a right to have that under God. So I'm not going for this idea that somehow, some way, I'm a criminal because I decided to carry the gun in my pocket versus on my hip where everyone can see it. You know, I mean, shit, I might argue open carry is very unsafe. You know how unsafe that is to open carry into some neighborhoods? These Negroes will jump right on that gun and take it right off my hip. Sorry, Negroes. I'm just saying that to scare the white people to get credibility at court. Seriously, though. These Negroes will jump right on you at Walmart. They'll take the damn gun right off my hip and sell it to one of their cousins to do a murder for the Bloods and Crips. I can't do that. Come on. That's fucking unsafe. Think about it. That firearm / sidearm / whatever the fuck you want to make up words to call it has to be kept under control and safe. Racist. No, that's not racist. That was colorist. There are no actual races other than human race. Pointing out that to some color people, other color people are different, and that's scary. What I was doing there. But yeah, seriously, very unsafe, walking around town, getting out at the gas station, gun hanging off your belt, and they can just reach out and grab it. It's got to be secure. It's got to be contained. It's got to be kept safe. So I have a fire burning around my house. Can you be nice? People are losing their homes. No. Can't be nice because people are losing their homes. They're actually not losing their homes. The homes are still in the same place they left them. Not lost. They're burning down. You know why? Let me tell you why. Because they're not securing them and protecting them. Because your goofy community of beta males hasn't invested in a town fire truck. They're waiting for someone else to come over from the other town to fight a fire and save their property and shit. So they didn't lose the house. It's still where you left it. The last place you look is where you'll find it. You know? And if you guys would just care more about securing your own property rights, freedom, and future, and stop being so fucking pathetic and self-centered and selfish and then entitled and think someone else is going to take care of your shit, well, then this wouldn't be happening. But you'll get them next time, I'm sure, right? You'll go build another house and you'll probably do the same thing you already did. And you'll pay a bunch of taxes and you'll beg other men to show up to secure your fucking property and rights like you always do. And then when they don't, you'll complain. You'll say, no one came out and saved my property. I'm not a man. We're not a family here. This isn't a community. This is a bunch of disintegrated, delaminated, pathetic, cowardly slaves who don't take any interest and equity in their own motherfucking property or their own village. So I say, burn, baby, burn. Come on, O'Shea. Let me get some music for this this event right now.
Disco Inferno, burn,
right.
Baby, burn.
Yeah. You know, I should have had that ready. I should have known that there would be fire and flames here today after court. But we're going to have a good time here. We always do. Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. You feel that? You remember this one? It's that Saturday Night Live vibe. It's O'Shea Barbarino. I just want to dance, audience. I don't even want to do a broadcast. I just want to dance. So yeah, I mean, let it burn, man. It's Disco Inferno out here. You slaves don't give a fuck about what's true and what's right. You don't give a fuck about standing for rights and freedoms. You don't give a fuck about communing. Yeah, I can feel the heat right now. Let's make some s'mores on that house tonight, huh? Let it all go. I mean, hey, the law is going down the drain. Rights, freedom, and principles, everybody's destiny. Why not burn the fucking house down? Yeah. Fuck yeah. I really am an asshole on this broadcast, but I'm not sorry. You shouldn't have come here. You got the notice. You knew that when you showed up here, there was a good chance that I was going to trigger you and offend you and insult you and not care about your sensibilities. Part of what makes this broadcast what it is. It's become healthy lack of care. I mean, hey, the rest of you fucking people don't care. You don't give a fuck about anything that's really important. So why should I care about your goofy ass house burning down? Newsflash, there's wildfires all around here. The property I was just buying, surrounded by fires. Arrested for checking on it, by the way, and rendering aid. Your thoughts, Joshua? Hold on a second, Mr. Lantown. I got to thank Ryan Horde. He says, blessings to Unslaved. Thank you for your contribution, Mr. Ryan Horde. You are a blessing to I and the kingdom of Unslaved. There's no denying it. Your thoughts?
Just wanted to say what's up to Sam the Man. He was over in my chat just a little bit ago. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about the wildfires, so I cannot speak from a place of awareness on this.
I'm stealing your viewers right now. There's probably like 5 people over there right now. I'm telling them to come to my channel. Don't ever return.
There's a link in there to pop over. There's a link. I usually pin that so folks can come over and join the stream and all that good stuff. And then, yeah, you'll usually have like I think it peaked at like 10 viewers at one point, but you know what? Every single one of those is another seed that's being planted. So it could be 1 today. It could be 10. Who knows how many viewers that's going to sprout into.
So Tarek is saying something about Arizona seceding or something as its own government. I don't know anything about that. Come on up and share what it is you know, and I'll search for it. We'll have an impromptu audible at the line we'll call here. This is a 10-minute song, huh? Disco Inferno? Yeah, that's the cocaine days, man. Every song's 10 fucking minutes, 15 minutes. All right, O'Shea, you want to dance a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know why O'Shea is not dancing.
Want to dance a little bit? Disco Inferno style? Saturday Night Fever?
I'll dance with you.
Yeah. Come on, O'Shea. Give me the hand. Give me the hand one time. The classic disco hand. There it is.
Yeah.
I want to get the vocals for this. Kind of vibing to this right now. Like, fuck the broadcast. Let's hang out. Let's listen to music. Let's take it back. Slaves want to take me higher. Greg N. Daddy is on fire. Yes, he is, Greg N. Not much has changed, huh? It's usually the case here. All right, let's get on with the docket. Fuck the Disco Inferno vibe. Fuck the 80s. Fuck bad cocaine. Fuck everyone and everything. All right, we're moving on here. We're Americans, Brian O'Shea. We're fucking Americans. It's about rights and freedom and principles. I'm not down on it. Just because I say fuck it, I'm not down on it. You want to fuck hookers and do bad cocaine and act like a fucking slave? Hey, this is the place to do it. America. Thoughts, Brian O'Shea, before we move on with the docket? We got Lantow up there too. Lantow Communication.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, don't ask for the hookers and the good cocaine. By the way, it's always the hookers and the bad cocaine.
Right.
There is no more good cocaine. It's all got murder fentanyl in it. You guys are letting them get away with murder.
Good cocaine. It's the prosecutors get all the good cocaine. We're left with the bad shit. Yeah. I'm kidding. I don't do drugs anymore. I gotta give them the proviso. They'll be at my next hearing saying, "What was that on StreamYard about you doing controlled substances, Mr. Laporta?" Dude, they had the balls when they issued me this paperwork for arresting me for trespass on private property with a contract. They had the balls to put on the thing, you're restricted from using cannabis. No, I'm not. I gotta, can I be honest here? Can I be clear with the court? I'm actually not. I'm totally not restricted from using. They're like, here, just sign this paper. It's like, don't possess guns, don't smoke cannabis, don't. I'm like, I'm not restricted from any of that. I don't know where you guys got that belief system. Don't know where you guys came up with that. It's kind of weird. They were acting kind of weird, O'Shea.
Yeah, even if you were the all caps entity and all that shit, you're still a presumed innocent man. So what does any court have? What business do they have ordering a presumed innocent person to do anything?
Well, that's the thing. If you morons go in there and they put a paper in front of you and go, you can't smoke weed now. Well, they don't say you can't. They say you I forget how they word it. I should go get it out. You should refrain from. They're not even telling you have to. They're like, you should, you must. Oh, no, it might be must. But once you sign it, it's like you made it real. You know, who's going to sign that? Why would I sign a thing with, you're not even asking me for money to leave. This is what's so bizarre. The woman from the court tells me I didn't sign the waiver for counsel, but doesn't bring up that I didn't sign the bond conditions and the release paperwork. That's how I know you don't have anything. Don't you get it? I know by what you tell me and what you leave out when you have something and when you don't. You guys don't have anything. If you did, you'd have brought up the release paperwork and the bond conditions, and you'd have remanded my bitch ass and had me brought back to that fucking hole. And you didn't do it. You want to play games to try to get me in jurisdiction and try to hold up this fucking dismissal or this discharge based on a waiver of counsel. Give me a fucking break. But hey, that's why I love the game, right? If it wasn't for them playing these little games and doing the tests and challenges, I wouldn't get more experience and you guys wouldn't get more experience, or at least you wouldn't get the report of the experience. So I almost appreciate them for their little games and tests and challenges. Just gets me tighter, just gets my game tighter, just gives me every option to see what they're going to do and not do and to learn how to navigate it. So, yeah, kind of silly when you look at it. You know, well, let's push this along like anything's going to change. I mean, they got to fish. You know, hey, if you just come down and sign this, yeah, well, you know, they got to fish a little bit. They got to pimp a little bit. Got to see what you're really on about, you know. So then it comes down to, well, hey, if there's no one ever on the other side and you guys ain't going to move forward to trial and no one can even settle with me, it's going to get dismissed at some point. Why would I sign the waiver? I'll just come back 15 more times to pretrial hearings. And you can just keep saying, you never signed the counsel waiver. You never signed the counsel waiver. And I go, yeah, but you can't go forward with the case and the trial. So what's the difference if I sign counsel waiver or not? I'm not going to need it. I'm not going to need counsel, nor am I going to need to represent myself because we can't go anywhere with this case. You don't meet the proper process, procedure, and elements of court. So why would I go out of my way to do that? The first time, she didn't even tell me I'd be arrested. She goes, you may get charged $1,000. Yeah, and you may get fucking sued. You guys may get sued if you try to take me again, put me in a box, and presume that I'm your District of Columbia citizen slave with duties and obligations to a society I'm not part of. Your thoughts, Brian O'Shea? I want to hear from you, sir. Tell me what's going through your mind.
I don't know. I just had something. I lost it. Fuck. Man.
Hey, dumbass.
What?
No, I'm doing the Talcott.
You get to receive what you receive. I know what I'm offering.
Oh, Shay, you're mute.
Well, I don't know.
You're muted, O'Shea.
Thoughts, Chandler?
Oh, I was playing the video, but for some reason the video gets laggy. I don't know what that's about. And like some of them are and some of them aren't. Let me try my that's you. Let me try out my that's you to see if it's like operable.
That's you.
Yeah, that one was right there. It was like right on the tip of my tongue. What now?
Fuck, man. My brain's not working. I'm fucking breathing this exhaust. Someone tried to steal my...
Hey, dumbass.
Much alike.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to continue your games. You can either grow up, give me, I'm trying to cooperate with you. I went and pulled the video up. I'm asking you, what are you looking for? What is your deal? Dude, you're missing the point of what is actually happening here today.
I feel like you're missing the point of what's happening here today. Are you getting it?
I think I figured it out. Did you see any of my fucking video from Grand? Did you see any of my video from Grand Junction, dude? Talking with those fucking knuckleheads.
Yeah, you're posting shit from months ago that we already saw. What are you trying to
No,
relight that fire?
I never released that one. It happened. I told you guys about it, but I never posted a video about it that I'm aware of.
All right. So, what do you want to play that right now, or what?
I mean, it's It's good for you and everyone else, but I hate the way I sound. They sound like idiots, but I sound almost as bad as them. It's cringy,
What's with this really gay and bad song that Calvin Mauve made for you and that you posted? Like, it's one thing for him to make it; it's another thing for you to post it. You're not embarrassed by that at all? I'm just asking.
I don't know, dude. That's a good question. Fuck.
Yeah, like what's this? On your channel, apparently. This might be the gayest, weirdest, most horrible song I think I've ever heard. He wonders why I never listened. He used to send me these songs, and I never opened them. I never listened to them. I'm glad I didn't.
My grandmother died. With a shotgun. Man, your comedic time. Your timing, man. I apologize. Right, William Anthony O'Shea. Thank you for making me laugh. I love Brian William Anthony O'Shea. Brian with the Y.
Really creepy. I'm gonna stop it there just because it's getting really creepy. Like, I don't know if you're feeling that, but I'm feeling it. I don't know if I can go on. I may have to chop that up. I can't go all the way with that. I can't flow with that all the way. Really kind of weird, gay, and just bad music. Like, who's listening to that? Who's putting that in their tape deck in the car and riding around to that? It's terrible. I'm not trying to be mean. The kid used to send me music, and I'm telling you, I never opened it. And that's why I always had a premonition that if I opened it, it was going to be something like that. And that would really upset me. That'd be kind of weird, kind of scary. You posted that on your channel. I'm asking why you did that.
I'm not answering any questions.
Yeah.
All right.
That was good. That was good.
All right. We may have to go off camera because I'm having lag over here. Tomorrow it's going to be fixed. I'm getting my slave link tomorrow. I'm in for the $120 a month. It's a hell of a fucking fee, but whatever. I mean, I will complain about it, by the way. I will come here regularly, complain about it, and I will guilt you people just to make you feel bad or to try to foot the bill. So just be ready for that. Be aware of that. I do this for you people. All right? This is for you. Tarek, what's going on, man? What's the deal with Arizona? What are you telling me now? Something's happening?
All right. So what I'm telling you is and I still have all these audit people that I used to listen to before I met you. So they all give me their thing. And then the new thing in Arizona from what's his name, Direct D, that I guess the Department of Justice, I guess, went after the police station for doing a lot of bullshit shit. And it came on them on hard or something like that. And now the police station want to supersede, it said supersedes, which believe the government as a nation. I looked it up because I didn't know what it meant, and I left you the thing in the bag. It's about an hour long though, but it does talk about the whole police station coming forward and being unhappy with the DOS or DOG.
Isn't that rich? They want to secede now because they can't force statute, policy, and code and force false contracts on everyone. Oh, guys, let's make our own nation. Let's secede because we can't do chaos, fearism, and tyranny and fraudulent contract. You can't make this shit up. So, I mean, I got news for you. If you do secede as your own nation, as Arizona, nobody there is going to want you pushing code and policy on them. There's a news flash.
Here's the funny part. None of them got fired, Paul. None of them got fired, but they're under, I guess, a new thing where they have to report what they make exactly and some other stuff like that. And they're pissed off about that. Because I read.
Well, because I told you guys. You guys thought that we were all just one person and we couldn't make any change and we couldn't do anything. Well, I and like a handful of others activated the feds to like investigate all of these local and statewide organizations who are like doing fraudulent contracts and forcing code and policy on men and women of the people with contracts that they're not aware that they're signing and agreeing to. So, yeah, they're going to get audited. Yeah, they're going to have to report what the fuck they make. Yeah, they're going to have to pay transfer taxes or they're going to go to federal prison, as it should be. These codes and policies and all these statutes are for corporations and corporate entities, mainly policy enforcement division. They're not for men and women. So I think it's great. We're not subject to statute, policy, and code. You guys are. So they're going to come in and they're going to make sure you guys follow all your statutes, policies, and codes, so you can stop interfering with the property and rights of men and women. Sorry, the party's over. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. It was fun. And Direct D, actually, like the other guy, I guess, he's the other guy. He's been after him for a while. And he wants them all to get fired. He's like trying to get them all fired, but I guess they didn't fire him. They just like put a new thing on them where they have to report.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, man. You know, at that point, fire them. A whole new crop of folks will come in. It's really about the way that we do these processes and procedures. It's really about the leadership and the training and the ethic and the honor of those departments, right? You got to have some ethic and honor as individuals in a collective organization in order for things to run smoothly. So, you know, it doesn't matter who they keep in and who they fire. You guys just got to get under what's true and what's right. Like, start having some fucking, I'd want to say pride, but then that'll get out of hand. But start having some fucking ethic and care about yourself and the way that you live and work and this land that we're all on, you know?
Yeah, you can't say Arizona's not changing thing, or you, Paul, or whoever is standing up. Things are changing, I guess, in Arizona. So that's good.
Come on up, Mitchell. I want to hear from you what your disagreement is. Yeah, again, I'm not looking to override or overthrow. I'm not even necessarily looking to secede. I'm looking for folks to collectively uphold what's true and what's right, the law of this land, and the spiritual principles of this universe, if you want to argue that, you know. So I don't need my own nation. This one is just fine. You know, everything's just fine the way it is if we can just uphold the law of the land, rights and freedom, principles and spiritual faith. And then if you want to enforce some code after that, great. As long as you're not interfering with rights and property. You guys got code fetishism? You know, have at it. Just stop interfering with rights and property. But I mean, yeah, we never really know, you know, like Mitchell's kind of saying, it could be partially the fact that folks are putting them on notice and activating other agencies. It could be partially a coup event. It could be a civil war event, a revolutionary event. You know, I don't know how much of everything is staged, not staged. You know, some folks might say a lot of these events are staged. You know, and then they're going to go through with the staging and have mock civil wars, mock revolutions, mock secessions, and see if they can, you know, use policy and code to get everyone in deeper through some games they want to play, you know?
That could be it too, yeah. I agree.
You never really know. I suspect if they are, whoever they are, some folks might say staging things, it's because they've become aware that the rest of us have become aware the difference between legal and lawful and what the law of the land is and the difference in currency and all the rest of it. And the more that it's become a movement in consciousness and awareness, the more they have to do something to get people to try to get off that thread, right? To get off that theme. So, you know, the election every 4 years, the fucking crypto, Bitcoin nonsense, you know, the terrorism, the world wars, the biologicals, all kind of a way to get everyone to refocus on where they're going to get their next piece of help and what's the next code that's going to be written to save them. You know, the more they get them, the more they get everybody focused on the worldly nonsense and the internecine battles, the less folks are correcting their status on record, the less they're standing on rights, the less they're showing up at court the right way. And that's what's going to keep this thing going. Come on, Mitchell, get up here, man. Don't make me beg. It's unsightly. I'm a god of all media. Truth or cop? What can I do for you, Douglas?
Well, you know, I feel like you're triggering me with your thumbnail there because one day I was on a movie set. You know, I was doing a production assistant bit and doing like a volunteer work on Virginia Beach, and this guy comes up to me, a Mexican dude looking like Cheech, you know, Cheech and Chong, who's Danny Trejo. He came and handed me his pants. I didn't know what he was doing. He handed me his pants, and he took his pants off in front of me, dude. His other pair of pants did, and he changed his pants right in front of me. It's a lot to get that out there right now, but that's a true story.
All right, Mitchell, what's your disagreement here?
I don't know that I really have one. I guess I just I think I was just giving Tarek some shit for just pushing a narrative that he knows nothing about, and he stated that from the very beginning. If you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, then why are you going to talk about it? But
well, how much do you know about this Phoenix Fed situation? Because I know little, if nothing at all. And, you know, if you know something or at least have a narrative, I'd prefer to go with that rather than just speculate.
Yeah, I actually don't know. That's why I was just kind of going off of Tarek's speculation, which really makes no sense. You know, it's like, I think based on a quick Google search, 1 in 4 Arizonans support the idea of seceding from the union or whatever, but like I don't understand where the rhetoric comes from, honestly. But I think that the I don't know. I just think it's bullshit. I think Tarek's up here bullshitting, and so I was just hoping he would substantiate some of his claims.
All right, so I sent him the tape. That's directly from Direct D. I mean, he's an audit guy in Arizona. He's known.
Okay, well, an audit guy, a Direct D, some anonymous fucking YouTube character who's an audit guy. That's where you get your information, bro. I mean,
come on, bro. It's Direct D. It's Direct D. You did hear him, right? It's Direct D. I mean, that's pretty.
It's Direct D. He's got a bunch of subscribers, man.
Let me just add a little bit here. Direct D does do cop watching down in Arizona in the Mesa area, and he tends to be fairly
does
credible.
Fucking lawsuit fishing. We know what.
Yeah. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying the dude tends to be
Don't worry about
credible.
Mitchell. Mitchell has these moments.
No, I just am very familiar with these communities and these people, particularly Direct D and this whole network, you know. So I just, you know, do
you think
it's
Mitchell,
fun to see what?
Do you think that he has like the police station? Because the police station is the whole thing is live. Like, he didn't make it up, so it's live on his channel where they're talking to the DOSG. Like, it's on there. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you don't think that the police and the DOJ have? It's not DOG, by the way. It's DOJ, Department of Justice, have a working relationship.
Department of Justice.
DOJ. Dog.
Dog, the bounty hunter out there.
Sorry, I fucked up there.
Yeah, the DOG's coming for you, boy.
DOG, what am I saying here?
So the American politics seem very simple to me. The solution is very simple. If people want to have authority over the corrupt, usurpated government or whatever, then the solution is to reestablish the true American form of government. And that would give the people the authority over the government that they created that now runs their life. And it's seemingly that simple to me. It would take about 100,000 people to be recognized by the feds as the true, legitimate, de jure American republic.
Yeah,
and if people,
I agree.
So, like, there's no need to, like, bullshit about all of these topics, you know? You either got to realize that, you know, they have authority over this land, and, you know, you need to respect it to some degree. or become the authority, where you have enforcement to put them in their place.
You mean take
Yeah,
responsibility for your own actions?
Yeah,
That's
pretty.
insane, Mitchell.
I know it's bizarre. Fuck it.
Hey, Paul, I got a question. This is off the record. Lindsay's wondering if you could put her in the chat or something. I guess she's like trying to get in your chat, but you have her, I guess maybe
What does that
blocked or
mean?
something.
The link is there. The link is there.
Oh, okay,
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't need these people hanging around my chat, using this place like a fucking social club. Get out of the house. Go find a social club in your neighborhood and go hang out there and talk with all the other people there. I'm more interested in folks coming here who like want the truth, want to like save themselves, maybe save this land if it's possible, save some dignity, whatever we have left, than just coming here to fucking socialize. Like, I get it. This audience is a lot more interesting than a lot of other places. That's because the presenter is mirroring the audience, right? So, you know, you got to be thankful and grateful to me, and then what mirrors off of that, and, you know, learn from your mistakes. Come up here and share. You know, then maybe once we establish a rapport and we can work in trust, then we can change the settings and the conditions, right? This is the same type of slave who will walk into court and tell the court how it's going to go. And they're going to go, no, it's actually not. We're going to do what we want. And you're not going to have any say about it. And they're going to go, okay, yeah, you're right. But here they'll come here and beg and borrow and steal and play games and then shit on me and insult what I do and then lie to my face and go around gossiping and hating and doing all the rest of the nonsense these folks do. Not into it. I mean, I'm into it because it's part of content creating. I have to be, but I'm not into it. Does that make sense?
Total sense, Paul. It makes sense to me, yeah.
All right, where are we going with this, Mitchell?
I don't know. I think I kind of stated my piece. I'm happy to have a conversation about it. I'd like to dig into more of the details, but I mean, it'd take a little cooperation and intellectual honesty on Tarek's part.
Oh my God! Why are you accusing me like not being intellectual, not being honest? I'm sending you what I got from him. Now, if Paul wants to watch it on his live view, we can all say what we got to say about it. But I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, it's dude. You literally just sent me some guy who has. You just sent me a video of some guy who, when I click on it, is chain smoking cigarettes, has two full sleeve tattoos, is displaying his little YouTube play button award thing, and has a room full of little signs and trinkets and toys to make him seem like a big boy and a man. What would make you think that this person, just off the bat, has any credibility?
No, I'm not saying he's honorable like you, Paul, but he does like go after them. And he is like, a little weird with the tattoos and all that. Yeah, I get that. If you go ahead.
Again, we don't even have to do the thing where he's not honorable like me, because that's going to piss off a lot of people who come here, including Mitchell, like subconsciously. You just annoyed him a little bit. Sure, he doesn't like that.
Well, I'm being honest.
I could feel it. I know him long enough to know he didn't just like that, right? It's like having a pet. He doesn't like that. Stop doing that. But yeah, it's like,
well, they're not.
It's not about me. It's just about look at this guy. I'm gonna pull him up for the people here. And then this is the guy who you want me to like look at as this is like who I'm taking my news from. I wonder why the masters are.
Yeah, such a reputable source. News. Holy cow.
You could just tell right off the bat, right?
But Paul, this guy, I watched a lot of his videos. He goes hard at cops. He doesn't give a fuck who's in front of him. He'll go at them all day long. He's got a whole new record at mess up.
I know. Like, it gets your dick hard that some guy's running around with tattoos and anger and hatred toward cops because he went to jail for like packets of heroin. I could relate at one point. It's like, dude, where's this getting us? Getting in the cop's face, showing we're real men. It's real man shit, right? Like, where is this going?
No, it's not real, man.
And then these are the same guys who show up at court and they got their fucking tail tucked between their legs. Yeah. Like the Castro. He's a real alpha male when he's got 500,000 people watching. When it's time to go look at Ms. Zimmerman in the face and put up or shut up, then it's a different energy, right? It's a different story. Now he's a victim. Now he's a misrepresented journalist, falsely in prison. He was on there. I'm an alpha male. Look at this guy going close up in the cop's face. This guy's shaking right now because I got broad shoulders. Look at them. I'm an alpha male. I want to get arrested for my YouTube channel. No, you don't. You know you ain't. No, you don't. We've seen how you showed up once that happened. So, again, I'm not interested in the bravado and the bluffing. These motherfuckers are out there bravado bluffing, and as soon as they put them shackles on you, go to crying, whining, and asking for forgiveness. Not into it. That shit's worse. They respect this non-community. They respect less when you guys do that, right? Like, just slave up and hoe up. Don't do the putting on, fronting, bluffing, big boy shit, and then cry when they put you in shackles and ask for forgiveness. You know, it's just like this. You know what? Let's go to this. I want to give you guys a view of why. I got Grim Hustle here too. No, I want you to see this first. This is just fascinating. This is why this non-community is berated and disrespected and discredited at times, because you got folks like Mr. Idris, you'll see here, who shows up at court mumbling something no one can understand, and he thinks he's saying something, and it's real about the trustee and the beneficiary, and it's a bunch of nonsense. So let's view that. Then we got Lantow at some point.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you activate your camera?
Yes. Just give me a second.
Hi there. So are you, is it Muhammad Idris?
The trustee. I'm the trustee. The trustee of the person is here, and all the beneficiaries have been already named.
Okay, so I'm looking for Muhammad Idris. If you're not him, you're free to go. We'll issue a warrant for him.
I am the trustee of the person.
So, okay, I'm not sure what that means. You're going to have to explain that to me. I mean, I know what a trustee is. When you have a trustee over as a person, that's someone who governs their affairs if they're not able to manage their own. Generally, people aren't trustees for themselves, and so that's why, you know. And if you're, I'm not sure exactly what that means, and you're gonna have to explain that to me.
What I mean,
like
by
say, if you're, I mean, I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is the trustee of the person is here, and all the beneficiaries have already been named, and it's on a trust, and that trust is private.
Okay, do you have a name?
Because you are claiming that you are the trustee, or the prosecutor is claiming to be the trustee, and the investors
I'm not.
to be the beneficiaries.
Okay. So, okay, I'm going to stop you there for a second, because I'm not claiming that. No, you can't finish. When you say you are claiming to be something that I'm not doing, no, I'm not going to say that, because that's not true. I'm not claiming to be anything other than the judge in Thurston County District Court who's on this calendar. So I'm not the trustee of anybody.
Well, you're here to come after my personal trust, correct?
No. Why would you think that?
I object being a trustor.
Okay, well, you're not one. I'm just trying to find out who you are.
I can't get any clearer when I said the trustee of the person is here.
Okay, is the person here? So you're not going to answer that.
The trustee of the person is here.
Okay.
And the beneficiaries have already been named. Is on a trust, and it's private, and my trust is private.
Okay. What's the state's position on where this case is headed? And then I can come back and speak with.
You get to receive what you receive.
Who I assume the trustee of the person is the person named as Muhammad Idris. And so, but let me hear from you what the state's position, these cases look like there's a fraction of failure to control a traffic device. There's a special fuel trip permit. And then there's a failure to comply charge.
Yes.
So what's the state's position on where we're going from here?
If Muhammad Idris is not present, the state would ask for a warrant.
Muhammad Idris
If we're
I'm going to
to
consider him present based on his verbiage. I know he's operating under a lot of false premises, but that's kind of on him. So,
Right.
but I mean, what is the state where we're at here? If the state wants to go to trial on this case, we'll set it for trial, and then
The state would ask the court to set dates.
Okay.
Within speedy trial, the state also would like to clarify whether Muhammad Idris is intending to go pro se or if he will have counsel at trial.
He looks like he was okay. So I'm going to speak here for just a minute, and I'm going to kind of tell you where we are with this, and then we'll go from there. So, you said a lot of things already that just simply are not correct.
So, Mitchell, would you like to kind of clarify from your end, because I know you have some experience with this. Do you know what he's saying, what he's trying to say? If you were him, what you would say, or
if I were him, I would say that I definitely wouldn't be taking trustee position. I would say that I would be the beneficiary. Or actually not.
He's literally saying the opposite of what you'd want to say if you were trying to stay out of their jurisdiction. He's literally saying if the guy did understand him and it made sense, he's basically saying I have all the duties and obligations of what government puts forth without any of the benefits. That's what you don't want to be, is the trustee of their public trust. They're making us all essentially with the documentation trustees of that public trust by calling us withholding agents. So yeah, when you're in that venue, if anything, you're going to want to be the beneficiary, or you could argue benefactor, in the sense of government can't exist without man creating it and giving it some limited abilities, right? As long as it's not a detriment to the creator, right? He who creates controls. He out of all three positions, he picked the one you don't want to occupy in that venue.
Yeah, I think I don't know where. I don't even have a clue how he came up with this. I don't know. It's crazy.
Chris Hauser didn't tell him to do that and sign a W-10.
Honestly, I think the judge is trying to be. I mean, at least at the beginning, he seemed like he was trying to work with him.
My dumbass is so stupid as I thought he was on to something. I thought we were playing it for a reason. Like, okay.
You were right. You were taking notes. All right, trustee for the person. I've named the beneficiaries. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, man. The judge is kind of like entertained. I think most judges are entertained by this kind of thing. It breaks up the monotony. And I think he's also trying to decide how much this guy actually knows, how competent he actually is, and whether this is like a rap that he's not learned, right, off YouTube, or whether the guy's like actually just doesn't understand what's going on and saying something that can't be interpreted. So I think it's a little bit of both those aspects. All right, let's continue here. He actually does this for 3 meetings. He has 3 appearances and does this the whole time. And he just keeps repeating, I'm the trustee for the person. The beneficiaries have been named.
Here's where you're at right now. Right? And so you've been charged. There's 3 things at issue here. There's 2 statutes that are alleged to have been violated: violation of a special fuel trip permit, violation of vehicle operator refusing to comply with an officer. And those are both, I think, simple
This guy's a
misdemeanors,
commercial
which carry with them
driver.
maximum penalties of 90 days in jail.
He's actually driving commercially, no?
Pleas of not guilty have been entered. And then these cases, they're both criminal cases. And what happens is they either resolve through some sort of plea or some sort of agreement, or they proceed to a jury trial. And now, if you goes to it, since they are criminal cases, it's headed to a jury trial, you're entitled to be represented by an attorney. Look like a previous judge had already ruled that, or found that you were going to, are you going to represent as the trustee of the person of Muhammad Idris, going to be present to contest the criminal charges against the named Muhammad Idris? Are you going to do that yourself, or do you want to have an attorney appointed to represent? I can screen you for court-appointed counsel, or you can hire an attorney to represent yourself.
Do I have a standing to speak?
Yes.
Okay, I object to what the prosecutor has said.
Okay.
And I'm standing on, I am. Like
You're standing on what?
The trustee of the person is here, and the beneficiaries have already been named.
Okay.
It's on a trust and it's private.
Okay.
And I object to the prosecutor saying that representing myself, I object to that. I object to being the trustor. And I'm not here to give out gifts, reducing the public law or the public debt. Because I'm brought in as a trustor to give out gifts, and turn around, and what the court is doing is coming after me for the commercial promise. So for that reason,
he's not a disciple of Chili. If he was a disciple of Chili, he'd ask the audience for 100,000, so he'd go hire an attorney to get him 180 days.
I am.
Is he not being charged for
I'm
misusing his
position.
corporate gas card because he's a trucker? This is like actually someone who's doing commercial driving. He's actually driving.
Yeah, I don't think they specified. Did they specify on the charges?
Well, they're saying that he was using his gas card unlawfully. It looks like he's sitting in an 18-wheeler. I think he's a commercial driver.
I think so too.
It seems that way.
Is.
Yeah, and I mean, again, in which case they would argue he's in a commercial capacity, so the code applies to him.
And even then, he's getting farther than most people who travel in private. So kudos to him.
Well, I mean, in what sense? He's just basically stalling for time here. It's not getting anywhere. It's not creating remedy or resolution.
Yeah, but I
just
learned a lot right now.
Entertaining his nonsense. You're learning something here? You're not going to do this bit when you show up, if you show up at court, are you? Beneficiaries have been named? Trustee, person?
All right.
And I'm not here to give out any gifts.
Okay, no one's here for any gifts.
What could you possibly learn from
Well,
this?
I object to that. The trustee of
I learned that the
person
judge is actually taking him serious on his
And
claims,
all
and
the
so he's actually
beneficiaries
getting somewhere.
The beneficiaries already been
And
named.
he's not getting anywhere. The judge is entertained by his nonsense and wants to see how far this is going to go. Just picture me up there. That's all you guys got to do from now on. Just picture Paulie Boy naked on the administrator's bench, right? Like, just substitute what I do here regularly for whatever they're doing. And I go, oh, okay, come on in, Muhammad Idris. What now? Trustee for the person? Yeah, tell me more. And it's like this.
But he was,
The guy's
he
got
was like,
another 15
he understood what he
minutes
was trying to say.
And he
was
doesn't
building it
understand
out.
what he's trying to say. I have no idea what he's trying to say. He's literally,
there was
like I
points
said,
where he was trying to coach him to get to the point where he should have been, but he went the wrong way. He totally took it the wrong way, for sure.
Are you watching
He
the
obviously
same? Are you watching the same video as us?
Yeah, man.
He's not coaching him to do anything. He's attempting to get him in jurisdiction and to create an understanding. And he's not necessarily able to do that, but he's also entertained by this guy's nonsense. It's going absolutely nowhere. And at some point, they're just going to give him a competency test if he's willing to answer, or I guess he'll stonewall. I mean, the reason he might get somewhere is if they can't get him to answer anything directly, in which case they'll just bring a jury in and go, what say you, Muhammad? Trustee person, beneficiary's name. And they're going to go, not only is this guy guilty, he's insane. Put him in a mental institution. Okay, let's continue. 20 more minutes of this defense.
All right.
And I'm not talking about the beneficiaries, which is the investors.
I have no idea what you're
getting
talking
somewhere.
about. When you talk about the beneficiaries, I don't have a clue as to what you're talking about. So I don't even know what that means. I'm trying to figure out, where we're going to go from here. And I have an idea, but in a minute,
I do my best.
I'm going to take up some of these. I'm going to take some of these other cases, and then I'll come back to you. But
I'm the only witness on the case, correct?
No, you're not. That's not correct. No. Give me just a second here.
You get to receive what you receive. I know.
Mr. Newcomb, you can mute up there, Mr. Idris, and then I'll come back to you here in just a minute. And you can go off camera, but don't leave the Zoom call just yet, because
now he's trying to wrap him up. Now he's trying to get him.
Cases first.
That he is.
Mr. Newcomb, is your case ready?
Yeah.
I don't hear him. And then Ms. Lazarek.
Your Honor, we'll be doing a change of plea today, but I'm just waiting for my client to log on.
All right.
Because he also knows he wants him. He also knows that he wants to turn that camera off too.
All right. So you can come back on the. You can come off the Zoom call there, Mr. Idris. You can come back off of mute. You can come back onto the Zoom call. So here's where we're at here. And I started talking about, and again, at this time, I don't want to hear anything about the trustee and the named or unnamed beneficiaries. My only question is, do you want to have an attorney appointed to be involved and help you with this case? I mean, that's a yes or no question.
The trustee of the person is here, and the beneficiaries have been already named. And I'm asking for the court to dismiss this case because I put myself in the position of a trustee.
Okay. The request to dismiss the case will be denied. I'm telling you that. And I'm going to ask my question again. Do you want an attorney appointed to represent you, or are you going to go it alone?
How can somebody represent me when I'm the trustee?
Okay.
And the beneficiaries have already been named? You can't even continue.
Why do you think that?
What does it have to do with thinking?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I mean, you're just telling me that, well, I've named the trustee and the beneficiaries are named who haven't been named to me, so I don't know who they are and they're really not interested. I mean, if life were that easy, anybody could do that in any criminal charge. Anybody get charged with anything? Well, I'll just name myself the trustee of the person and name some beneficiaries, then you're off the hook. You know, things just don't work that way.
How come they don't do it?
And so in terms of, you know, at some point, on the there was a scene where you were contacted by a law enforcement officer, or maybe even more than one. They identified some charges or some statutes you were not complying with, including, you know, the special field trip permit, and you refused to comply with the officers and things of that sort. So they refer that to the prosecutor's office. They're charging a crime. And I've told you what those two crimes are. And now, again, these cases either resolve, and if you've been on the Zoom call, which I think you have for a while, you've seen some of these cases resolve, or they go for a jury trial. And again, you've seen all these other attorneys who represent these folks. I mean, if they could make these cases go away simply by naming someone as a trustee or naming the charged person as a trustee, I mean, shoot, they'd all do it. And then nobody could ever be prosecuted for anything. So that's why I'm wondering why you think that. And now I'm losing my voice, but it'll come back, I promise. So if you're going to keep
go ahead.
I mean, if you're just going to keep repeating that to me, then
Get the
much of a choice other than we'll just set this to a jury trial, and then you can repeat that to the jury and see how that turns out. But I don't really have much of a choice here right now.
I object. Isn't the prosecutor supposed to be speaking and ruling between me and the prosecutor?
Say that again. I didn't understand that. Would you please repeat that?
How come the prosecutor is not saying anything? Why is the prosecutor silent?
Well, because part of my job is trying to identify who's here. And then the prosecutor did say that they want to figure out whether you're either representing yourself or you want an attorney. And so that started the conversation between me and you as to whether or not you want an attorney or not. And I frankly, I still haven't gotten an answer. You just, when I ask you that question, you just go back to restating yourself as the trustee of the person, of Mohammed Idris, and then the beneficiaries have been named. So I want to get through that hurdle. And then, I have some responsibility to do some things here before we really hear from the prosecutor. Prosecutor will, I suppose, if this case goes to jury trial, they'll do that. They can negotiate with you some sort of resolution to the problem if you wish to do that. I can set this over for a period of time to give you an opportunity to do that. But and again, you still haven't even admitted that you're the person who was pulled over by the police officers on that day. So, I mean, we kind of have to get through some of these preliminary hurdles before we can get to that.
The trustee of the person is here, and the beneficiaries have already been named.
You have said.
The beneficiaries have already been named.
All right. Do you understand that the prosecutor is an attorney who's passed the bar, practiced law in the state of Washington, appears here fairly regularly, and knows the rules of evidence and criminal procedure, and quite familiar with them, given that that's what their job is?
I object to being the trustor.
Okay. Do you understand what a prosecutor's job is?
I object to being the trustor.
I mean, the judge isn't ruling on his objection.
You can go ahead and mute back up. You can stop your camera, and then we'll come back here in a minute. All right, Mr. Idris, you can come back on the Zoom call, please. Activate your camera. So I'm just going to talk for a few minutes, and then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do here, going from here. It looks to me like your first appearance on these cases was on July 17th, and speedy trial runs through right now, October 15th, 2023. So you are charged, as it looks like you were in front of a pro tem back on July 17th. You're charged, right there, with 2 crimes, and there's 1 infraction. Pleas of not guilty, you'll be entered. Anytime anyone's ever charged with a crime, they have a number of rights. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, which I've talked about. You also have the right to go to trial and call witnesses and so forth. And so, let me finish, please. Don't interrupt me. I know what you're about to say, but I'm going to talk for a while here. So just please don't interrupt me at the end of it. Then you can say what you're going to say. All right.
My apologies.
So this case has started. This case is headed towards trial, apparently. And if my voice holds out, the trial is going to take place someday before October 15th. You have the right to an attorney, as I said. You also have the right to represent yourself. If you choose to represent yourself, I just want to advise you that you would be at a serious disadvantage. The prosecutor, as I tried to explain earlier, is a trained attorney, been through law school, been practicing law for a while, well-trained, well-versed in the rules of evidence, well-trained, well-versed in the rules of criminal procedure. been through jury trials before. They know how to conduct them. And so if you were to represent yourself, you would be at a huge disadvantage. It would be to your great advantage to have an attorney appointed, or you can hire an attorney to represent you. But as I said before, you do have the right to represent yourself. And normally you go through some sort of conversation with folks. I've been doing this job for a number of years now. I've had several people represent themselves. Normally there's a conversation I've had with people about asking them that they're aware that if they represent themselves, they'd be at a disadvantage. I tried to engage in that discussion with you. You just kind of reverted back to repeating that you're the trustee of the person and the beneficiaries and the name, so forth. But rather than go through the question and answer portion, I'm just going to tell you that's where we're at. So we're going to set this case. We're going to do two things here today. We're going to set the case for trial. You're going to get notice in the mail of that. You're also going to I'm going to set a status hearing or a pretrial hearing in about 3 weeks. And then somebody else, maybe it'll be me, will probably try and go through all this again. But I'm going to tell you some things that, you said you object to this and you object to that, and you're free to object to anything you want. But I have the ability to either overrule the objection, which means, turn down your objection or sustain your objection. And I'm having trouble actually understanding what your objections are. And so, and again, I'm going to lay out some of what's going to happen at trial if it goes that far. In a trial, they have a group of citizens come in, both the attorney and defense attorney or the person represent themselves, and the prosecutor has an opportunity to question them, talk about the issues that might come up in the case. Then they can eliminate who they don't want on the jury. And then 6, you will end up on a jury, and then the state will present their case. You or an attorney, or you on your own behalf, or you as the trustee of the person, can present your case or explain to the jury why you think you should be found not guilty of what you're charged with. And so in the grand scheme of things, frankly, the charges that you're charged with are not far from the most serious that we see around here. They're not. But they are crimes, and they are in their own way serious. And so I don't know whether anything I've said has made any impression on you at all. But that's what's going to happen here today. And if you wished so this case is headed for trial. And like I say, we'll do sometime before October 15th, but we're going to do a intervening, and I'll tell you when that is. Why don't you set just a status pretrial for like about 3 weeks. And you can think about what's going on here. You can think if you want to take some alternative place. If you want to just come to court and keep repeating the same thing to me when you get in front of a jury, you keep repeating that same thing to somebody else. I suppose there's no way I can stop you of doing that. But I'm just trying to enlighten you on what's going to happen. And some of your objections you talk about. See, that's the advantage the attorneys have. The attorneys know when objections are well-founded and when they're not. And I kind of get the sense from you that you really don't have a complete or accurate idea of what this is all about and what's happening. And so I tried to spend some time explaining that to you as best I could. And I guess I told you I'd let you speak, or hinted that I would let you speak. I'll go ahead and tell you. Do you have any response or any thoughts on this, or would you understand this is going to trial? Or go ahead. I've said what I'm going to say. I'll turn things over to you. Any response to any of that?
Again, I object. I'm standing at what I said.
Okay. And what specifically do you object to? Just so I can create a record, so I'll make a ruling on your objection. What are you objecting to?
I'm objecting to everything you're saying. It's a hearsay. It's a assumption, a presumption. It's a tacit agreement. It has nothing to do with the facts. That's why I'm the trustee. It has it has everything to do with the trust law. The trustee of the person is here, and the beneficiaries have already been named. That's why I have a trust. And my trust is private, and I don't see your trust. And in the trust,
I
that
do
you
see
have,
that the judge has two names. He's
the
claiming to be the
trust that
district court
the
judge and the
prosecutor has
district court
named
himself.
you
Like,
as the
why is he up there
trustee.
twice? That's kind
why
of
you
weird.
keep asking.
Well, that's the other issue, right? Is that he doesn't actually have a name. He's obscuring his name. He's failing to identify. So that's concealment of identity, right? Like, how can you get up on the bench acting as a magistrate, and we don't know your first or last name? It just says district court judge. So, yeah, I mean, what a great way to kind of obscure the liability and the accountability. There's really no one in that room. Nobody's sworn in. We don't know who this man's is, what his first and last name is. And it doesn't seem like we need to know as far as they're concerned, right? Everyone's on a need to know basis. So, hey, I mean, interesting that you saw that and pointed it out, right? I mean, a lot of folks, I guess, are not looking for those kind of things. But I saw that immediately yesterday when I kind of skimmed through this. And they do that some places. Other places, they give you the full first and last name. Other places, it's honorable judge so-and-so, and then they try to get you to refer to them as your honor or judge so-and-so, just like officer so-and-so.
To me, more importantly, the second camera that he's on is the district court himself, because there's no one else there. So he's the court as well as the judge. So there's a lot of obfuscation going on there.
The prosecutor what they want to do, because they named you the trustee, and you guys brought me into court to give out gifts. And I'm not here to give out any gifts.
Right.
I'm here to object to giving out any gifts. That's supposed to reduce the public debt. Am I wrong?
Yes. Yes, you are. And that's frankly, that's kind of the sad thing, because I'm really not sure completely of what you're saying, but a lot of the things you just said are quite simply not true. And I asked the prosecutor where they wanted to go in the case, because they file the cases, they choose to go forward. Sometimes, as you've seen today, if you've been paying attention, the prosecutor said, "No, Your Honor, we're going to dismiss this thing." And so I dismiss it. So I asked the prosecutor.
I got a request from the Peanut Gallery. I don't normally do this because this man has been known to be a deviant. But hey, if I'm going to have Snafu Snaps and others here, I have to forgive and reconcile at any moment. Not saying I'm doing that, but I don't really have any real issue with Teddy Spaghetti. He doesn't have any issue with me either.
If you want that, you're going to have to take me out to dinner first, dude. Let's chill.
I trigger egos here. You trigger egos here, Truther Cop. Can we see the top of your head, please? I'm asking.
If you're taking me out to dinner, maybe.
I mean, can I just pay for dinner? Can I just get you like 6-incher?
Oh, so I'm not some sort of prostitute. Come on.
I'll get you a 6-incher from Subway. $5 for $5.
That's not the type of 6-incher I want, bro.
Whoa. Well, please, not in public, sir. It's a family broadcast. This is a Christian evangelical broadcast. Only heterosexual sex and sexuality is preferred here, at least in public, right? We're just like the priests. We're if we're gonna fuck children and migrants and illegals and everyone else, pretty much anything we can catch. It's like behind the scenes, not in public though. Like in private, anything you can catch, you can fuck it. That's part of American values. But on this broadcast here right now, this is a family broadcast. We're evangelicals. We're very godly Christian people. Okay? Can we see the top of your head now? Simon Says, top of your head?
You just tell me it's a family broadcast, and I want to see the top of my head, dude. Stop being so gross.
Okay. He's not going to do it. He's deflecting. Simon Says, top of your head?
That would be against YouTube terms and conditions. I mean, please, stop.
Why do people keep saying that I look like broken system, broken trust? I'm way more attractive and handsome than him. Is that an insult? Like, I don't look like him. Let's compare. I don't look like him. I'm way more attractive. Way sexier than broken system, broken trust. All right. Now he's showing his genitals to scale. He's showing a scale model of his genitals. Yeah, there you go. Let's see the top of your head, bro. Come on. Take that goofy fucking felt hat off. He's got all these goofy hats he wears. Felt hats. He's got corduroy hats and shit. How gay are you? Seriously. 1 to 10, how gay are you? Like an 8?
10.
You got to be like an 8 at least. 10.
They filed the case. What do you want to do with this case? They said they want to go forward, which brought about this conversation that we've been having. And that's just one example of one of the things you're wrong about in terms of this whole trustee thing. I don't know what that means to you, but I have an idea of what a trustee and is and things of that sort. And I don't have a trust. I'm not anybody's trustor or trustee. In this court, neither is the prosecutor. And so when you say, am I wrong? The short answer to that is yeah. And unfortunately, and I'm taking some time to try and explain it to you, but I just don't feel like I'm breaking through. But to answer your question, am I wrong? Yes, you're wrong about a number of things, which is really unfortunate that I can't explain that to you or make that clear to you.
What's your evidence? Evidence is clarity.
I'm sorry?
What's your evidence that I'm wrong?
Well, I mean, other than me just telling you that I'm not a trustee, I can't prove something doesn't exist. I mean, there is no trust. There's nothing else, and I have no documents that saying there's not one, and I don't have any document. There is no document saying that there is one. And so again, that's on that single issue. That's
so you're not coming after my personal trust?
No.
So personal
again,
trust.
I'm not sure. Well, let me rephrase. I'm not sure what that means. Again, you're charged with a crime. That crime needs to be resolved or either through trial or resolution of some kind. And so in terms of coming after your personal trust, and by the way, I'm not the one who filed the charges. That was done by the prosecutor and all of that. And so what they're trying to do, I think, and I don't know this for sure, and I'm just trying to do this by way of explanation, not because I'm on anyone's side. It's their responsibility. They're bringing the charge. It's their responsibility to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. It's your or the defense attorney's role to explain why the charge should never have been brought, or that there reasonable doubt exists as the charge was ever committed. That's what this is about. This whole trust thing, I think you're just going down a way that's really doesn't have any relevance to what's happening here. And I've tried to explain that to you, and I'm more than willing to continue. We can't go at it all afternoon, but I'm trying to make this as clear as I can to you. But again, it's unfortunate. It's a failing on my part that I'm not able to break through to you.
Your Honor, if I might for a moment.
In a minute. So I guess we'll set it for status hearing. We'll set trial dates, and then we'll just go from there.
Your Honor, based on this conversation, the state has concerns about the defendant's competency.
Yeah, we're not going to go down that route right now. And so you can raise that, but I'm not denying that without prejudice. But at this time, we're not. For one thing, as you well know, given the nature of the charges and given the schedule, this case will drag everything on we'll be here for the next couple of years. And at this point, I'm not prepared to do that. So you can bring this up again if you wish. But for right now, we're not going to go there. And do you understand what the state just said to me and what I turned them down for? Again, that's a yes or no question. The representative from the state, the prosecutor, she just said something to me. And I said, no, we're not doing that now. She made a request of me. And so do you know what that request was?
I am the trustee. and the beneficiaries have been already named. So,
All right. Did she been sent discovery?
No, Your Honor,
Okay.
because
Yeah, I understand why. I understand why. All right, so what's 3 weeks? What's 3 weeks from today? When's the trial date?
September 13th.
We're gonna reset this to September 13th. Put it at the end of the calendar.
Okay.
What time?
2:30.
At 2:30. That'll be your next court date. You're free to go. Mr. Fugate, are you back?
I am, Your Honor.
So you fell off
case
somehow.
is
I am,
Your
far less
Honor.
interested in.
I'm sorry?
No. Is that the end of it?
Your Honor. Yeah.
No.
My case is far less interesting than your last case there. All right, a little bit of Joe Biden gaffes. Why not? I got to break up the energy here.
But before we move on to Joe Biden, can I just say that old Squishy Gardner guy?
You
I
can't.
believe that's
No, you
the old,
can't. No.
Yeah, the old.
Stop.
No. Yes. Mr.
Mr. Lantow.
So I did notice that old Squishy Gardner guy made an interesting comment. I should have asked you if you could have paused it then. But he did make an interesting comment at the top saying, I don't normally criticize the judges. I don't normally criticize them.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't normally do that. They're not into doing that. They're into criticizing you and me, not the judge. Judge is above that. What's this broken system video you put in the back?
know.
Judge gets exposed. Hello?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to see, like, it's really interesting. It's like a long form version of the video I shared earlier, but it's actually got what the defense attorneys try to say when they try to stick a defense attorney with me. And then it's like the full audio, but I mean, it's really good if you want to play it. It'd be perfect to piggyback off that. But if you don't want to do that, if this guy's got two more cases just like this one, I'm down. I want to binge watch this guy just so I can keep hearing him say trustee.
All right.
And throw this judge
Can
for
someone start a vote down there? No one has the ability to start votes, huh? I have to do that? I have to do everything around here. Can you fucking people make yourselves useful? Get something done?
Josh, you think
Jesus
this judge
Christ.
is doing poorly?
Do I what?
Oh,
You
you
think
know
this
what
judge-
You know what Go ahead, Mitchell, because I just realized I have an interaction with Barry Cooper from the other night, and it totally slipped my mind. I'm a fucking asshole.
Nice.
I went in his chat, and he fucking went off on me and made up a bunch of lies, and it was pretty fucking pathetic. He tried to say I was a failed YouTuber with a failed YouTube channel, and I'm poor and broke. I go, Barry, you got 100 live viewers right now. I'm doing average 50 more than you. Why are you saying if I have a failed YouTube channel, what are you? And his Filipino wife started going off on me. Apparently, they sit around and talk about me. That's what I learned. Where was it? Well, that was just a day ago, wasn't it, Jennifer? Yeah. Let's see if I can.
And
We'll
while
go
you're
ahead and
looking
continue.
at that, while you're looking for that, I'd just like to mention though, how would you feel as that judge though, to be the only judge that old Squishy Gardner criticized? I mean, like you have to be next. Like that has to be the biggest.
Give us your thoughts first, Josh. What are your thoughts? I want to know your thoughts. That's what I was asking.
I just thought that was entertaining as hell. I love.
No, I'm asking you about the performance of the judge. Not
The
your entertainment.
performance of the judge, I would give him probably a solid B. He could have gotten A if he thrown out a couple contempt warnings, but I thought it was great. I mean, it was like a bunch of curveballs thrown to the guy. Yeah, the longer it went on, the better it got. So, that's my opinion.
Why? Why would you want it to go on and on?
What, the longer it goes on? Because I was thinking about this watching it. Is the more claims you can get that judge to make, the better. I mean, then you can make him verify and prove every claim that he's making. And
has he made a false claim?
What, the judge? I mean, not from really what I could see, but he did catch himself almost tripping up on his words a couple times. Hey, if you can just put a pebble in their shoe and make them a little uncomfortable, I'm cool with that. Like, I love that.
Oh, okay.
I need a fucking trustee and a beneficiary named right now. I need to name a trustee for the person and a beneficiary to like search this video, because it's got to be from a day ago, right? It's not 6 days ago already.
Oh, he probably
Sunday. What, did he delete it? That pussy. Oh man, I'm telling you, all these content creators, they really don't have what it takes. Go the distance. They don't have the heart for this shit. 10 hours ago. No, that ain't it. Yeah, somebody scanned the Barry Cooper episode from a day ago. If you got extra hands and equipment, it's only an hour and a half. Should be in there. I think he did delete it. He might have deleted it. Fucker. Why does he have two different shirts on? He changed shirts in the middle of this? He's worse than you, Jennifer. He did a Mariah Carey. He changed shirts in the middle of the live stream. Like, how does that even work? What did he? I don't know, man. I gotta look at this. I'm holding everyone up here. It's not professional. Oh man, I forgot all about that. I should have took that with me. I'm really off the fucking mark lately. I'm really fucking getting lazy up here. Mailing it in. All right,
Yes.
I'll scan for it later, I guess. He goes, it was the funniest thing. He goes, and this guy, Paul Unslaved, he abuses his audience. he insults the audience. He says, you guys are all dumb. You don't know the law. Oh man, it was great. He went off for 20 minutes. His bitch was whining and crying. He's like, she tried to, I don't know what they were doing a whole bit with each other, pretending to know me and like making shit up and then acting like they talk about me on their own time. She's like, is that him? That's the guy? And he's like, yeah, that's him. I'm like, Barry, we don't even have a relationship. We don't have he goes, we have a history. I am Paul Unslaved. I go, we don't, Barry. You're lying to your audience. And he wouldn't bring me up. I had to insult him, or not insult him. He was making things up and insulting me just because I sent him $2 and I called him Barry the Slave. And then he went off on a whole thing. He was saying that we have a history and that I used to come to his chat all the time and insult him. I've never done that. I came one time when he featured me on his live stream. He reviewed my traveling video and he said that there's no such thing as rights and freedom, that I'm confused and I'm a sovset and I'm a nice guy, right? I'm pretty smart in my own way, but nothing like him, of course. You know, he's lighting the world on fire with intellect and I'm mistaken. You know, but of course he wouldn't talk to the guy he was talking about, right? That's another trait of a lot of these non-tent creators. They never talk to the guy they're talking about. And then when you show up, they just make up lies to try to like spin the audience's fucking, it's bizarre. Like just to get the audience to think I'm something, he's going to lie. He just discredit himself. Spin. What was that? Speak up if you're going to talk, Jennifer. Damn it. He doesn't. Well, yeah. I mean, I have a failed YouTube channel. That's one thing. He's just mad. He's in the group of people who are mad that I get all the attention. I'm like, what are you talking about? I go, so now you're admitting that you're only in this for attention. I go, great stuff, Barry. You're really great at this arguing thing. He goes, he's just mad. I get all the attention. I'm like, so all you're looking for is attention. You don't care about what's true and what's right. And then it's not even true. They reveal that's all they're looking for, and then I'm getting 30 or 50 regular live viewers more than him. I have a failed channel. Whatever, Barry. We love you. Off chance this gets back to you, you're a little confused. And I want to know how much he paid for that Filipino wife of his who runs the show in the back. He's literally running the show for him. Another beta male simp trick. All right, let's get to President Biden. I need to break up this energy. I need a little entertainment. Biden's a gaff a day lately, so let's go to that.
Get crazy.
I'm here to talk about how we're preparing and responding to the dangerous impacts of extreme weather and the climate crisis that's affecting people all around America, all around the country. Matter of fact, beyond around America.
Well, which way did it go, George? Which way did it go?
Last month here in D.C., temperature 100 degrees. More people died from extreme heat than floods, hurricanes, and tornadoes combined. Say that again, combined. More people died from heat than those three other major issues. Implementing rest breaks. You think we'd have to tell people access to shade and water. Gradually easing new employees into heat environments. Just enter your zip code and see the heat forecast, not only generally. My American Rescue Plan is helping states and cities promote energy efficiency. I said, no matter whether you vote for him or not, everyone's going to get treated fairly.
Well, isn't that special? Hi there, it's Buddy from Creator Warp. I sure do appreciate you checking out this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe for more amazing content like this. If you would like to support me even more, I have channel memberships and a conservative apparel line on Patriot Threads.
All right. Not as good as it has been. I'm a little disappointed with that Biden. Usually my Biden's a little better than that. All right, Canton, Massachusetts, as of a few days ago, residents have had enough. They're freaking out. This has been an ongoing theme. Town board people freaking out because they're getting enslaved and they don't really know what to do or how to change it. Just keep voting. Keep voting. It'll get there.
Shame on all. Shame on you. 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 All for you. Shame on you. This service is going on because of this. Okay, here, you get rid of this guy. This would all end. Shame on all of you.
Tomorrow, please. Please, guys, this does not look good for you.
You're not leaders. Always.
You need to listen to me.
Next on the agenda, and you wonder why the whole goddamn world is watching this circus unfold right before our eyes. It's you. Time to go. Next on the
Lives in an uproar. You got anything before we keep it rolling here? Did anybody screen that? Is anybody on it? Does anyone even care? Is anyone going to screen that Barry Cooper thing? I've been looking through there in between while I'm doing what I'm doing. It looks like he took it out. He either edited it or he took the whole video out. Not a black person in sight. Right. That's the way they like it. Couldn't find it. Can't. I'm naked. Fuck it. Barry knows. As long as Barry knows and I know, then that's all that matters. Never happened, all right? It happened, but it never happened. Barry and I know it's real. It happened. We know. For self-discipline, you need to forget yourself. I'll probably run it again tomorrow. What's that? Is that an O'Shea creature piping up?
Yeah, did you hear that New York City banned masks for safety to stop crime? And then the chief says that only a coward wears a mask.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they banned masks now all of a sudden for safety and to drop crime. 4 years in. 5 years in?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good news, I guess. Only a coward wears a mask. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Let's see here. I guess either a coward or somebody who doesn't want to be found out committing crimes. We do. that this? I don't even know where I am here. All right, people. Coming at you. Let's go to the fucking Grim Hustle. I'll probably run it again tomorrow.
How to build self-discipline. A lack of discipline in your life is always a lack of motivation in your life, a lack of meaning in your stupid little life. Let's break it down. Discipline means to control yourself, to serve yourself. So why are you not serving yourself? Because you do not consider yourself worthy. Subconsciously, you think you do not deserve it. And you are actually right. You are not worthy. Seriously. If you would die today, nothing would change. That's not bad news. That's a relief, Bratan. Stop being so egocentric, and your discipline will grow. I show you how. Number one, stop focusing on yourself. To get discipline, forget yourself. Number two, forget yourself and remember your honor. Honor means serving others, serving those who deserve it. Serve your family, your clan, your brotherhood. Serve God instead of just serving yourself. Once you start serving something significant, you will receive power, motivation, and unstoppable discipline. Number three, forget yourself, but don't lose yourself. This is very important. Hold on to the core of your soul. This is your core of power, because your soul is an image and mirror of God. It is purely good. Serve God, serve others, then you serve your soul. When you serve those who deserve it, you are no longer an insignificant worm, but your life receives meaning and significance. And finally, of course, number four, don't get confused, because Suki will try to exploit you. Serve your people, serve others, but stay away from socialism and communism. They just exploit you. Serve those who serve your values. Serve those who deserve it. Serve those who never ask for money, for power, for fame. Those are the people with the purest soul and the clearest vision. Serve the right people, and the right discipline will serve you. As I am serving you, as my whole Green Commander is serving you, and we ask for nothing in return. Honor will come.
More synchronistic reports. That seems to be the truth as I've experienced it. True enough, at least. When evil cops get owned by their boss. Got a stack of slave news here I haven't been getting to. The past weeks and months. I have months worth of slave news up there. You know what? Let me go to this. Should I go to this? Mike Tyson. What he learned studying great conquerors of history. Should we try to play that? Take a gamble on getting copyright stricken? You into that, Brian O'Shea? I want Brian O'Shea to make the determination. Brian O'Shea, what do you want? How can I best serve you? Cop shooting citizen slaves. Mike Tyson talks about conquerors. Break it slave news.
I got a couple videos.
You got videos now?
Yeah, one's a parole hearing of a slow dude that got life for breaking into a car. They charged him with multiple counts for like one arrest of breaking into a car. Like he's completely slow. You know, they gave him 12 years, and then right on when 12 years came, they were going to let him out. They gave him life. They gave him like they used some weird law of like multiple offender or something like that. And they're at the parole hearing trying to figure out. It's absurd. Dude's just doing life. He was already in there like 20 years. It's insanity.
Sounds kind of depressing.
Right, super depressing. And then this other one's this black kid that they
super aggressive, being super aggressive.
So it's this like tactical company, a bunch of white bros, and there's this tall black kid who's clearly like an innocent kid, like just a good kid, and like they accuse him of like stealing a box of like that had a couple of guns in it, or no, it was like a an accessory to a gun, something for a gun, like an AR or something.
Right.
And so they just fucking, instead of even talking to the kid about it, they just fucking arrest him, take him down to the detectives, keep him there for like 4 hours, and then they realize like the customer comes back with the package. Like in the meantime, like there was some mix up and they handed the wrong package off, and they fucking bring the kid back and they fire the kid. Like afterwards, they don't even fucking end up talking to him at all. And the cops were just little weasel fucking scumbags the whole time. Saw on body cam. Just another sad, depressing one, I guess. I guess my shit's just all sad and fucked up and depressing.
Yeah, I didn't ask you about any of that. I asked you a question and you completely took me off down a whole trail. And I what do I do with any of that?
What was the question you asked?
I didn't ask for any of that. I said, what do you want to go to? And then you just started sublimating your
Telling
own
you I had
fucking
two options.
your own broadcast.
I did
I didn't ask for your options. I asked for my options. You know what? Forget it. I'm muting you. Mitchell, what do you want? This kid he doesn't know what's going on here today. He's really missing what's going on here today.
There was definitely some interesting cops shooting citizen slaves.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's what you're into?
No, not really. But
see what I got laying around back there.
Who's not into watching people get murdered on camera while they're eating a sandwich?
Brian O'Shea again. See? Deviant activity.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of brings some humility to my problems, you know. Could be always be a lot worse. There's plenty of examples of that.
Dude, there was an insanely graphic one the other day of a guy that just fucking knifed a cop, dude, just out of nowhere. He's like, cop came inspecting a trespass thing, and the dude just rushes him with a big old knife. And
That's
it's all
the one
gruesome.
Well,
yeah, there's a 2 knives thing going around lately.
Yeah.
It's because you can hear it in the body cam, dude. It's like
People
gurgling, dude. It's like disgusting, bro. You could see the blood just squirting everywhere.
All right, Brian, please. What's your deal, man? You're really morbid and depressing.
Relax, Maxwell. Come on, buddy.
2 knives. It's the 2 knives.
Drop the knife, okay, Maxwell? Drop the knife. Drop the knife.
2
buddy.
swords yesterday, 2 knives the day before. It's a new thing. New fad.
Maxwell, please drop it. You know me, buddy. I know one of you. Okay. You know me, buddy. Come on. You know me. Come on, buddy. You know me. You know me. Dad. Come on, buddy. Please stay out of this, Dad. Please stay the fuck out of it. Come on, Maxwell. Please, buddy. Let's not do this. Let's not do this, buddy, okay? Let's not do this. Put it down, Maxwell. Put it down. Wendy, where are you? I'm right here. Come towards my voice. Well, stay where you are, Wendy. Watch. I got less. Okay? I got you. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Down. Come on. Put the knife down. Put it down. Let's go. Come on. Put the knife down, sir. Come on. Put it down. Drop the fucking taser. Put it down. Come on. Sir. Listen. Let's go. The fucking taser. Come on. Put the knife down, and I will put my taser down. Okay. Okay. Put him down.
It's good governance right there. Quick, simple, easy, to the point. Thoughts on that before we move on?
He lied to him. He said, I'll put my gun down, and then he filled him with bullets.
Well, remember the guy said he was there for him at the bank holding hostages? He goes, hey, bud, I'm here for you. Just listen to what I'm saying, as he was aiming and about to blow his brains through the back of his head. So, yeah, I mean, cops may lie to you in that situation. Don't do that then. Don't hold up 2 knives and... Oh, man.
Listen, that ain't got nothing to do with me, boss.
Get out. Well, shots fired, we about. Shots fired, we about.
Damn, dude. Hold on.
Who's shooting? Drop the gun, police, drop the gun. Drop it. Hands on your head. Hands on your head, man. Hands on your head. Probably shots fired.
He was status Rockport and Marywood.
To the right.
At the weave up. 423, what's your status?
He's in the car. He's in the car. He's in the red truck. Hands.
Both hands. 423, what's your status?
Yeah, one male hit, one female in the car. Shots fired, Raleigh. Said you, 1018.
Both hands out the car.
They lit the car up shooting at the dude with probably bystanders in it.
Hold on. That's not him. Put your hands on the roof. All right. Suspect down on the ground. On the roof. Suspect down.
You shot my boyfriend.
I know, I'm sorry.
You shot my boyfriend.
Okay.
I know, I'm sorry.
Fucking idiot, dude.
You shot my boyfriend. I know, I'm sorry. Well,
You killed my
we'll figure it
boyfriend.
out later.
Yeah, but
He doesn't seem too bothered by it. Neither does he. No one there seemed too bothered by it. I guess maybe he wasn't looking too bad for him. Maybe it wasn't fatal. Police confront woman living in a grocery store sign in Michigan. Brian O'Shea doesn't want that. He wants killing. He's got a bloodlust. Dropped a gun. Boy with AR-50 shot police girl. I don't know what that means.
Stop right there! Stop!
Oh.
Drop the gun! Drop it!
Hey, stop! Stop now! Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! Mercy, 5-1, we got two late girl ones running with the AR-15.
Stop! You're gonna get tasered! Stop! Stop right there! Where's that place down over the gunpoint? Stop right there! Stop! Drop the gun! Drop it! Where's the 27 I'm here?
Did I just go from drop the gun to I'm hit?
What's that, Brian O'Shea?
I don't know what the fuck happened at the end of that. I guess he got arrested. Hello?
Hello? I'm searching Barry's video. I really want to find that moment between us. We had a special moment.
Barry Obama?
Barry and I.
The crack guy?
Barry, no. Barry, this Barry.
Can you play
Barry
that video?
Cooper.
The guy in court?
Never get
Talking
busted.
about my friend Barry smoking
This
coke?
guy.
Sucking cock?
Barry.
Replacing the Americans. They call it the Great Replacement Theory, which
Barry.
is why the social, we're talking about the,
Barry, you're now your friends. We're friendly.
now poor people coming to the
Cocaine, gay shit?
and I did.
You really would take out extra time to fucking delete that video or part of it? Why the fuck would he do that? What a bitch. Man. It's really disappointing. I really wanted that. Should have recorded it. I know for the future. Let's get a Snafu Snaps update just because he makes me laugh and he's insane.
Oh, Snafu crew, the optics are high. Look at this. Mystic is whining and crying about someone we warned her about Randy Reeves, right? Randy's made many death
right?
threats.
Optics
And
high.
many others.
Optics
But you know,
high.
Mystic, that's her forever cowboy. And remember, Mystic is incest. She fucked her brother, had a baby with her brother, and aborted that baby. And now all of Montegraph's people, Mystic keeps praising Montegraph in here. And you know what's funny? She's claiming she's a victim, but she's not. She keeps gaslighting Randy, keeps talking about it, keeps texting him personally. But here's what's funny. Look, Mystic and her friends are making death threats. Game time 088. It says, I'm not even lying. She spells lying wrong. Come to Laredo, Texas. So it's probably GG, game time, GG, and DB. And remember, GG
Cruise on to
Cam,
you.
Gone Girl, the fucking fake cancer grifting bitch. But anyways, look, so GG and her people come to Laredo. I'll take you across the border and show you. And then even Mystic's own people are saying, dude, quit making death threats. You're about to get banned, game. Right? And Kate's a piece of shit. Like, they obviously are with Mystic and Venus. But then Game Time says, no, Randy and Snafu snaps. So it's okay for Mystic's people to make death threats openly in the chat room against Randy and myself.
It's all dramatic.
The optics are high. But again, fuck Randy. We know where he came from. Gunt Burglar, Kiwi Farms, and Montegraph, right?
We know
But
all
fuck
that. I don't know any of
Mystic,
that. I have no idea what he's
incest
talking about.
chick who now is whoring herself on YouTube and OnlyFans right now.
Whoring
Again,
now?
all you guys who are watching her OnlyFans, remember this chick fucked her brother, had a baby with her blood brother, and aborted that baby. But now Mystic's allowing death
How does
threats
he
in her
know that?
chat. Strike team.
How do you
Make
have
sure
a
we
baby and then abort
write
it?
the shit out of Mad Mystic. The optics are
Had
high.
a baby, then aborted it. It was a blood brother. How does he know that? I shouldn't ask, but I have to know. Like, next time that kid's around here, I'm sure he's lurking around. I gotta ask him. How does he know that Mystic's fucking her own brother, having aborted babies with him? What is that? Wow, what a sick world. Let's move on here. What the fuck do I have? I got broken system with Slavin. KJP asked point blank, is the president disabled?
Green. I want to go back to that
Where's
question
your first
that Pelosi
clue?
raised earlier today. Pelosi asked, Pelosi said it's a legitimate question to ask if this is an episode or is this is a condition. Which one is it?
Well, what I can tell you is that he had a cold and a bad night. I would not see this as an episode. I would see this as what it was and what we believe it to be, which is it was a bad night. And he did, on top of that, he had a cold. And that is the reality of the situation. That is the reality of what happened that night.
You've certainly seen the reporting out there that this is not just a standalone instance, that other people are saying that this has happened before. One, do you see these as legitimate questions? And also, are you being straight with the American people on this?
I see it as a legitimate question. I do. And I have said it is a fair question to ask the president.
Isn't it fascinating how these people look you directly in the face and bullshit and lie to you? Like, oh, President Biden had a cold the other night. That's what you must have been seeing. It's not that he's completely senilic, right? We don't know what you're talking about. Stop overstepping your bounds there. Stop presuming. Don't be arrogant. Yeah, I love that. I love that aspect of this reality, that to just lie on camera in front of everybody. All right, what do you want here, Brian O'Shea? I'll give you another opportunity, and then you'll tell me some horrible video that you put up. It's 2 hours long. You know what? Forget about you. I'm done with you. I asked you, but I don't even care what you want. Checkpoint refusal, Sierra Blanca, Texas, from a couple days ago. Looks like 4 days ago.
And a spicy buffalo mother clucker and a dipped cone and a slap sundae.
That seems pretty cool.
In a quarter mile, merge onto I-10 East.
You get to receive what you receive.
Whenever you're ready.
Low lives! Yay! Low life! Scumbag, demented, defective fucking mental apes. That's what.
This is my safe space. Please respect it.
I frankly think that crisis initiation is really tough.
Silent refusal. Brian O'Shea and others. Not too eventful there. What else do I got here? You guys got anything? I'll throw the link again if anybody wants to come up. If they have anything that they want to speak about. Questions, comments, concerns. Historical narrative. I'm guessing Mr. Slavecott is live, huh? Let's see here. Let's check. Mr. Slavecott. What he asked. What is he offering today? That's the question. 32 minutes ago. The numbers dropping. I guess we just got boring here. It happens, you know. Kind of blew my load this morning. I got all excited for court, and then I had like a crash, and I had to resummon some energy for you guys. But around the 2-hour mark, I just lost it. You know? Energy started dropping. Numbers started dropping. What are you gonna do? Happens to the best of us. All right, let's go to the Mike Tyson video just because I'm curious. I'm testing copyright games lately, seeing what's been going on with that. So I've been going back and forth with them. So I always like Mike Tyson. Share a little something different, new here. Folks haven't heard it. Commentary on conquerors of history, and see if we get copyright stricken or not. Test the algorithm.
So I know you've been into that kind of shit, like Alexander the Great,
Slave Rogan. Are they going to copy
all these guys? Yeah.
Pippin, and Charlemagne, Clovis.
Now, is this stuff that you just studied because you wanted to study conquerors? Does it just interest you?
I wanted to study that mindset, you know, and I found that the greatest conquerors that ever lived were farmers. You know, farmers, sheep herders. Somebody that we weren't think that's important and stuff. And then as they became great through that, they gave birth to great children who were born with greatness, like Alexander the Great and stuff. Like Philip the Macedonian, that whole bloodline of Alexander, they were all kings, but they were all very small and insignificant. Until it was one Alexander before him that was pretty great and fought against the Persians, but eventually they lost, and they pretty much kissed the Persians' ass. You know what I mean? The Persians put them in a position of power until Philip Macedonia came, who had the nickname AKA Philip the Barbarian. And he wanted to go across there and enslave all the Persians and everybody after that, the world. And Alexander the Great, mother, who was a really interesting woman, I'm trying to say Albanian maybe, and they had a different kind of study and worship and stuff back then. So he got caught up in that. His family didn't like her for that, but she arranged for Alexander's father, I think, to be killed for Alexander to have the power. Then her kids had the power, she could lead through her kids while he was on campaigns, right? And when he was on these campaigns, now that his father was gone, he just conquered everything. But when he ran into the Afghanian people, he fell in love with them. He wanted to interbreed with them. He wanted to create a new race of Afghan. He just madly fell in love with them. And that's pretty much why his family, not his family, but the Greeks went mutiny on him, because they were jealous that they were giving big positions to the Persians. No, Afghanistan. He loved them. He even quote, Afghanistan is the most beautiful people in the world. God must have loved them more than anybody. He made them beautiful. He really fell in love with them.
When did you start getting really into like conquerors? When did you start
15.
You're 15?
Yeah.
What introduced you to it?
I was at the table eating with Cuss, and a friend of mine named Craig Ward said a statement which was wrong, but it sounds really good to make me investigate. He said Alexander the Great at his time was like 6'5", so at 6'5", 300 years before Christ, that was a giant, which was wrong. He was very small. The armor was too big for him. He was a really small guy. He wasn't big at all.
And so just that alone, him saying that got you interested.
Yeah,
in
I
Alexander
thought he was
the
a monster, he was a massive guy, but then I found that he's just a small man, average guy. You know, he's not a monster at all, not a big man at all.
But you got interested in the mindset of the conquerors.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is what I want to know. Why would one person think that he could fucking own the whole world? One person. Why would he have that mind? Who would think like that?
Right.
Why would that's not a fucking person. That's just something when your egos just got so out of whack.
Yeah.
Where you just can't think rational. How do you think like that? And you're a nice person. It was a guy before him, a couple of hundred years before him, named Cyrus the Great. He was a conqueror, but he was a conqueror for liberty. He wanted to conquer all the slaves and let them go. Conquer all the slave masters, let them go. He got killed for that too. But can you imagine who the hell? Maybe that sounds cool too, right?
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing. But listen, think about it. Who the fuck is he to take somebody else's property, take somebody else's stuff because he believes it's wrong, which it probably is wrong. I think it's wrong. But who the fuck is he?
Right.
Who is this guy to take just to conquer you? You don't bother nobody, but this is what they did back then. Now you're killing everybody. Back then, it was really legal. It's almost in the Bible. It's in the books. It's not, I won't say it, but it's in books. Slavery is in the books, in the religious book that we need slaves. And he did this. And this guy's going to say, hey, no more slaves. He's 500 BC, so he's going to say no more slaves. No more slavery is wrong out through the whole world. So he wants to conquer the world and free all the slaves.
Wow.
So that's just a different mindset.
Yeah, they're different kinds of mindsets that these conquerors had.
But who he think
Right.
he is? Who the hell is he? He has his little town over here. How he's gonna go over the whole world? His town is right here. Well, forget his town. His country is right here.
Yeah.
You know? And he haven't even conquered his country yet. Now he's gonna conquer the world and liberate freedom, make freedom. What kind of guy? Now that's nothing. If that's not somebody on drugs, you tell me. No, you tell me. Now be honest. If that's not somebody high, you tell me.
It could be coke.
No, it's something. It's something. Now, I'm gonna free everybody.
Right.
This is at 500 BC. This is slavery is what it is. This is the way of the world. No, I'm gonna free all the slaves.
That's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna free everybody.
What did you get out of reading about their mindset? Like studying Temujin, studying Alexander the Great. Like what did you get out of reading about their mindsets?
I found out that the greatest ones, the best, the most prolific ones were all mama's boys.
Really?
Yeah, afraid of their mother.
Wow.
Napoleon, Alexander. You know what I mean?
Wow. Genghis Khan too?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
Huh?
What do you think that's all about?
Highly respect their mother. I think I think their mothers were the first, especially Alexander the Great. I think she was the first stage mother. I think there was some before her too. You know, because Cleopatra was one. That's just what they were. At the end of the time, they were wanted to lead through their sons or their daughters or something like that.
Oh, okay. Like that parent that takes their kids to athletic events and screams and cheers and pumps them up and
no. It's the parent whose child word is law, and I want to be able to have that word.
Okay.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
My son is the king.
Right.
Of this country, or a couple of countries. But I want my thought to be in his mouth, come out of his mouth.
Do you think the parents convinced the child that they were that special that they should run the world?
Some of them do, but as some kids get older, like Ivan the Great, Ivan the Terrible, they get older and then they realize these people weren't right towards me, and they start killing his sponsors or the people that would represent their parents and stuff. You know, some of the kings did it too. You know.
So when you were studying this, when you were coming up as a boxer and you're studying all these conquerors, you were trying to understand their mindsets.
Yeah.
And you were trying to apply that to your own life?
Pretty much, yeah.
Did you get anything out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you get? Like how did it apply to your own life?
Well, at the end of the day, they all ask God for forgiveness. All of them.
So when you're reading all these books about all these conquerors, when you're a young man and you're on your way to becoming the youngest ever heavyweight champion, and you're trying to take on the mindset of the conquerors, and you find out they all ask God for forgiveness.
Yes.
How did that affect you?
That was pretty cool. Because by that, I learned greatness was the willingness to die. By, doing research on these particular individuals. And that's what they were willing to do for greatness.
And you
heard about Achilles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What did he want? A short life of greatness and a long life of obscurity.
Yeah.
So he took the short life, and that's what Alexander did.
When you study these people and you take that conqueror's mindset, did you get anything out of that? Did you apply that into your own pursuit as a champion?
Absolutely, because you have to listen. Alexander the Great was 32 and he conquered the known world.
Yeah,
in 10 years.
And so, thinking about that as a young man,
absolutely, I want my preeminence to rival the times that in the sands of time. If not reign with it. I think everybody should want that are competitive in the art of what do you say, immortality.
Yeah.
And I'll search for it. That's what he wanted. He wanted immortality. That's what he wanted. He wanted to be known since till the end of time.
Did you ever think that maybe you were born in the wrong time? That maybe if you were born in the times of Alexander the Great, you would also be a conqueror?
No, I am a conqueror now because I've conquered myself and my demons.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I'm at that time. I'm never born till I'm born in the right time. Most of them couldn't conquer their demons. That's why they ask for forgiveness from God, all of them. Because just like the gentleman that discovered Alcoholics Anonymous,
Yeah.
He inspired. Maybe he had a problem with alcohol at the end, but how many people have he inspired?
Yeah.
That is so much bigger than him succeeding or not with his problem.
What's interesting about him is he was interested in LSD.
Bill Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big thing of his.
That's what instructed him to have the program.
Yeah.
To develop the program.
Yeah. When you're talking about they all would seek forgiveness from God, it's so interesting to me that you turned to cannabis and cannabis allowed you to forgive yourself.
Yeah, listen, the reason why they ask for forgiveness for God, this is interesting that you said that. It's because they believed they were God. And they had to, at the end of the day, realize and check themselves.
That they're not.
Yeah.
They're not God. And then they've done horrific things.
Oh, yeah. At the end of his life, he was so forgiving and giving everything away and so sorry for everything. Wow. He didn't know how to forgive himself either. He didn't know how do you do that when you think how do you forgive yourself? So at the end of the day, he said, look, the man who conquered the world died with nothing in his hand. He gave everything away, had no swords or nothing. Wow. He was so freaked out about dying, being the rich guy and stuff, and having so much property and having the world like he possessed because he had the world. It's this gentleman that Eugenius? Forgot the guy that they named Sloth after. The animal sloth?
Mm-hmm.
Eugenius. I don't know, but he's considered a homeless bum nowadays. Today he would be called a bum, a homeless guy, or whatever. And Alexander been watching him. This is how keen he is. He's watched this guy for years. And he said, listen, before he became king of Greece, he's watched this guy. This is when he wasn't king of, and he said, hey, listen, I watch you and I have everything. And I'm unhappy and you don't have nothing. So what can I do to you to make you happy? You know what he said? You know what he had the balls to say? He said, first of all, you can be kind enough to move out the way of the sun and then allow me to enjoy my day. And he couldn't conceive of somebody to turn him down for riches and stuff. He couldn't conceive of it. It just blew his mind. He was so blown away. He couldn't even kill a guy for disrespecting him. He was just blown away. He said, I have everything. And he realized he wasn't happy. He had it all. He's the king of Greece. He didn't even know where he was getting ready to go. He's getting ready to be king of the world, but he's the king of Greece and he's just not happy. And he has everything. So he thinks by conquering the world is going to make him happy. And he did. And what happened? He turned into a drug.
Wow.
Imagine that.
It's crazy.
He ran. That's why he experienced with new drugs. He listen when you went on a campaign. Know what I thought? I thought when you went on a campaign, the movies lie. They say you go on a campaign to just about 300 gladiators, what, 10,000 soldiers. No, they bring their whole family with them. It's like a party. Their wives, their kids, everything. They got the surveyors are with them. House builders are with them. The people who deal with agriculture for that time, everything's with them. Wine, everything for they can test everything when they conquer. Conquering, you know what conquering is? We think that's glorious. Conquering is glorious. Know why? Because know why it is? Conquering, robbing, raping, illegally taking somebody else's goods and enslaving them. That's conquering. That's not good people. All the people we like, we say these guys, this guy, he conquered this, he conquered that. They hurt people. They did it for greed. They didn't do it for, we're going to help our people. They did it to take things because they could.
Now, when you were coming up as a fighter and you were reading all these things about conquerors, you were fueling your mind in that way, and you were also studying a lot of fights. You studied all the old school champions. Yeah. Are you doing that now in this resurgence? Like, are you studying films?
No, because I think I know everything about them already. I did the research on them. When I was a kid, so I started I started going to the other level.
Mm-hmm.
So I go from the level of these guys that are fighters, the gladiators, all those guys. So I go from them to the generals, and from the generals to the gods.
All right, we'll leave it there. You guys got anything? I'm feeling rather complete. We got about 20 minutes left. I figure maybe we'll review Slave Cot. We haven't checked in with him in a while. Any objections to that? Broken System, Mr. Brian Mitchell? You feeling rather complete, Brian O'Shea?
I object. No, I'm not feeling complete. I want fucking Talcott.
Yeah, right. That'll make you feel right at home. Mitchell's objecting. What are you objecting to? Uncle Talcott?
I'm the trustee.
You're the trustee of the person?
All beneficiaries have been named.
Yeah. Talcott's the beneficiary, all right. He's the beneficiary of the world. He's only here to get benefits, no obligations and duties. All right, let's see. Let's entertain this for a few moments. The insanity.
I'm gonna try that on girls in the.
Get to receive what you guys receive.
I'm the trustee.
I was just going to start in a different direction, and we have another guest who joined us, and this is certainly welcome. Tommy, welcome, brother.
We'll see. I was just gonna say how I know you and Bro Logical, or I call him Bro Crisis. I think you guys are gonna hit it off because you guys both got that same take it easy, make your marketing appearance. Oh, they're live. I'll go say peace to panel.
Oh, man, I was hoping it was going to be manic, Tommy. It's depressive, Tommy. That's always the worst option.
God, that is 2 weeks of depression. And I am going to announce right here on Jack Talcott's panel the season of content. You get it? You see what I did there? Entomology, motherfuckers. You like that? I don't think you get it, Jack. You'd have to prove me that you and Bro Logic get it.
I get
Tell
it.
me what I did there. Tell me what I did there.
You bringing discontent because you falsely.
But how's it going to be spelled? Is there going to be a hyphen in it? Is there going to be a Ladasha in it?
I would.
Yes, like disrespect content. You get it? Because you didn't explain it very fast.
Damn, I get you. Sometimes, Tommy, I admit, it takes me a couple minutes takes me a pause to catch up to where your mind is at.
And if you just admit it sooner all the time, you might not be as false witness held down as you are.
Well.
Yeah, mic drop, right?
No, I'm trying to
mic drop.
I'm not in. I want to enjoy the absence of arguments. And
that's what everybody comes for. It's what gives you the numbers. Give it a couple minutes for everybody to see this face up here. And I'm not talking flow states emojis. We'll handle that. TOS.
no, but do you understand? Did you catch the topic of the day?
Oh, I read it. It was very clever. I got here late because this season of this content, it's kicking off. Consider me on some beach condo with a laptop overlooking the abyss I will never venture into. That's 2 weeks of that, and I'm gonna hit y'all hard.
Okay, but today, the importance of good manners. I thought about extending an invitation to some of you. Well,
you got no host manners, you got no guest manners. You're truly a son of your daddy.
Well, how do you show good manners? What's good manners to you?
By respecting my chat and my guests, except for, secret Muslim guests. And he's welcome back. He loves my show so much. I'm sure he knows that. It's complicated, Jack. That's why you can't get it. That's why your daddy can't get it. But there's a lot of things to etiquette. There's showing it, like me as a Sigma, my smile is an etiquette, or like showing
with the Muslim, what are you talking about, me or Tarek? I don't even understand.
No, you watched the thing whenever the guy came and fronted like he was a Christian, and then he
oh yeah.
He was almost like a defreaking agent.
Tommy, I want to ask about manners. Good manners was the topic. And,
are we in a third grade class?
Well, it's somewhat. It seems
I think they're trying to weaponize a new word around here, where you like your daddy. You and your daddy are going to be accusing everybody of not manners of the land. You guys aren't man on the manners, not manners on the land.
No, here, please, midlife. You trying to hop in?
Yeah,
Stop
I'm
hitting
really.
yourself, Hank. You might need to live with a government agency
Tommy,
if you're hitting yourself.
Tommy,
That's called,
interrupting people is not polite.
midlife bro crisis is not people.
Tommy,
is he on your couch? Is midlife?
Please go ahead.
I mean, I really am in a rush, but how can I resist being on a panel with such legends? And is there any way Tommy can be up here and take perhaps his own advice of manners? Tommy,
He left and came back over me, and you act like I respect that, Jack. That's why I don't have manners with him. I don't mirror him because I'm not that retarded. But yeah, he came back. He made his exit. He made his official channel exit. Do you not follow me, Jack?
I couldn't resist because you're one of Mr. Talcott's.
Spare me. I've got 3 streams of you saying this shit. I don't give a fuck. The same when Jack says it. That's why you guys are going to hit it off. You just tell everybody you love you or you love them. Blah, blah, blah.
Tommy, can
season of discontent.
Tommy, when can, damn it. Oh, he's so frustrating. I wanted to ask him, when can you and I join him? Maybe we can help. Maybe we can figure out. Would you? That could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I go on his show from time to time when he lets me on. A lot of times he kicks me off or he bans me.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, hit me up. Hit me up on what? midlifebrologic@gmail.com, or hit me up on Instagram, midlifebrologic, if you want. Or just leave a comment. Leave a comment under one of my YouTubes. Probably even better because that'll help the algorithm. I mean, that's one of the #1 people who just loves talking about you. And I'm just trying to get to the bottom. Like, I see what I see and I think I'm right, but I really just want to interrogate the suspect. What is the deal? Why is Talcott's name always in your mouth, Tommy? Tommy, again, you are an extremely talented dude. You have this ability to go at 110 miles an hour for like 4 or 5 hours. It's like way above my comprehension physically, mentally, emotionally. It's hard to keep up with. It's hard to even understand. But I see the talent. I see the talent. And you have fans. You have legions of fans. I mean, you truly are impressive, Tommy. It's too bad you had to run away like a coward. It's too bad you just try to talk over me all the time, Tommy. I mean, you had your chance. Anyway, now, who is this? El Perro. ¿Cómo está El Perro?
Yeah,
who's this person?
Welcome, brother. How you doing today?
Hey. Let me go before I get sucked into this because I got to go. Anyways,
Peace.
Jack, again, TML, Alpero, nice to meet you, dude. Mucho gusto. Te veo la próxima vez. See ya. Bye.
Peace, brother. What an energetic character. How you doing today, brother?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I am feeling blessed. Truly feeling blessed. And here, an interesting guest has just arrived. So please, let's see where this goes. Welcome, Sanity Machine. Are you there? See, you're one that I'm not really interested in having join me, especially after what you've been sharing about me and the way you left yesterday. So is your audio there or not? I'm going to take that as a no.
You get to receive
So
what you
you're welcome to
receive.
try and reconnect and maybe show me
I
that
know.
you're there. Or not return. I don't really care. Praise God, man. Life is so cool. Life is so bizarre, yet so cool when you just let things be. People are going to be how people are going to be. I do believe for our world to change, though, it's up to each of us to start correcting ourselves and helping to correct each other. This is where the importance of good manners comes in. We've got to be able to talk to each other with compassion, especially when we're offering uncomfortable truth. And we're all faced in these points in lives where we either offer forth the uncomfortable truth or we do the truth a disservice. And I believe we're doing the truth a disservice when we allow the nonsense. I'm using the examples of today, the nonsense of Donald Trump and Joe Biden to continue to even be considered as options unless they change their ways. But is America willing to change? Is the world? I think the world is crying out for change. Yet we've got all these people wanting, like little children, wanting to fight to stay the way things were. It's time for humanity, I believe, to grow up to the wisdom that has been known through the ages. The kingdom of heaven is found from within. The kingdom of heaven is now, right now. Heaven is the feeling of wholeness. Wholeness is the absence of lack. So if you mentally, spiritually can allow yourself to feel whole and complete, know that being one here in the present means that God has brought you to where you are, and it's okay. It's okay to be who we are, the way that we are right now. But if we're going to be here in the presence of God, which we are united with God. We don't want to believe we are not. And if we realize that I have no problems and suffering comes from the desire of things that are absent, well, I have no problems. I have no wants. I have no needs. I have no desires that are unfulfilled. I am whole. I am complete. And now how do I grow? How do I serve? If we truly live that way consciously with our hearts and with faith that God is revealing the answers, God is revealing the future, the world is going to transform just like that. And I truly believe, I mean, today's July 2nd. We could do it before July 4th, but the entire world could celebrate independence, the freedom from wars, the freedom from debts, the freedom from the old ways of living. I don't know what God's got planned, but I keep asking God, what do you want me to do?
God sent me here today to try to clear the air with Jack and with the machine lies as well. I knew he'd be here. I knew it. I had a feeling.
Congratulations. So
I'm here
where
on Tuesday, usually. So yeah.
and so that's wonderful. I appreciate that because it seems you're the one who found disagreements with me. And
I
in
had some audio
exchange
problems
for
earlier.
pardon?
I would
I
love
had
to
some
fucking
audio
see you
problems
face
when
to
I
face.
came on, but can you hear me fine now, Jack?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I can hear you now. I was out in
Fucking
the woods.
liar.
Okay. And
I've
so
also
what is
I've quit drinking whiskey, so I've been going through withdrawal, I think, and I've been battling some demons, you might say. Battling demons. You've been through that, right? I don't know what you drank, but I've kind of been battling some demons.
what does that mean? Or are you just
Well,
saying things?
what does that mean? It means that the spirits of liquor. I've been trying to not drink. I'm trying to be
So what does
sober.
that mean? Is that
It
hard for
means
you?
of course it's hard. My
Why is
mood
it hard for
changed.
you? Why is it hard for
Because
you?
why is it hard? Because
Joe Rogan, I would love Steven,
Man,
the
this is terrible.
sanity machine.
This is
in
really
my
bad.
opinion, my testimony.
my experience, like
I want to see
Good
Wizard
for a
suck
million.
his nuts more.
should I
There we
smoke
go.
more weed
Come on,
and
Wizard.
avoid
Suck Jack's
alligators
nuts
and just try
for
to chill
attention and a
out? Or
What are
platform.
you
is that what
doing?
you're saying?
Would you? That question has no relevance or purpose. So tell you what, let's move forward. And I hope you receive the message, Stephen. You can stop interrupting.
Fucking
You can stop
defective
playing
mental
these egoic games of I'm gonna get you back because I remember you doing this. Get over it. Grow up.
Yeah, let's all grow up.
Either
Get over
grow
it.
up or leave. Simple as that.
Mr. Love.
I like it here now. It's a fun place.
Then start doing something to be welcomed and to be appreciated. Because I'm not
doing my
having
best.
fun with you. What's
I'm
that?
doing my best. I said I'm
Do
doing my
better.
best.
Do better. Here's how. Shut your mouth.
Imagine if Jack took his own advice.
I know that's not the most polite manners, but I have been, in my experience, I feel we have wasted
Can't we all
far
get
too much
along?
time on this fool and his ignorance. That is the agent of chaos serving the
That's
devil.
you. You're talking about
Brothers
yourself
and
again.
sisters, whether you take me seriously or not, I don't care. You know what? I'm ready to do my own final words. You
Hey,
guys got
dumbass.
anything you want to get off your chest or anything you want to get out?
You guys are
Another
fucking
fine
pathetic.
example
Beyond
of
pathetic.
live without beer, folks. Great job so far, Jack.
Great job, Jack.
Day by day.
Wizard said, great job, Jack.
Thank you. Any final words?
Yeah,
Thought?
peace. To everyone here. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
for
God it's
joining us.
over. That's the final words. Thank God it's over.
Examples
Yeah,
of
it's pretty
bad
terrible.
manners,
I'm
behavior,
gonna go to
starting
sleep
from
now.
the first person who
Man. All right. Fuck it. Give me the final words. We checked in with Jack. It's the same old nonsense. Really boring today, though. Same old nonsense, but today's version really boring version of it. Yeah, get over there in the crack. He's like Lanto's moving over into the crack of vision there where he can be seen.
Somehow
there you go. Get in the box.
Yeah. Somehow I have a feeling Tailcott Clip Collections would turn that into a masterpiece somehow. I don't know how. I don't know how the magic happens, but it happens. But my final words, thanks for hosting a great daily broadcast. I appreciate that. Makes it easy on me just to hit the restream button. So thank you for having me up. And I had fun. And thanks for sharing your court interaction. And I'm interested to see where this goes.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, we'll get an update at some point.
Yep.
All right, let's go one Talcott clip collection before we final words.
Right on.
You know, get me on a compound and fill my compound with a bunch of people, and let's see what comes out of my mouth.
These were pictures that shocked the world. Views of one man's dream that he turned into a nightmare.
We'll convince them that their own termination is amazing.
A place of paradise that became a hell for hundreds of people who'd put their faith in him.
It's amazing.
Their cult leader, Jack Talcott, or as they called him, Father.
The Father.
Get into the now and brace yourself as we look into one of the most confusing yet sinister mass murders ever in history.
I am the truth. I am the light. I am the way. This is what you do.
This is the story of Jackstown.
I know there's a lot of darkness and a lot of chaos. People are facing a lot of confusion, real life confusion. If you think you know what's going on, man, keep learning.
Aren't those the guides? What are they doing with guns?
You don't know what's really going on here. This place is not what it seems.
What is it I'm offering here?
Hey, what's happening? These people want to leave. They have their suitcases packed. I have no idea what to do.
I'm trying to offer people hope.
Sam, do not get involved in this!
Please take my daughter.
What? How many more people can fit in this thing?
It's no wonder nobody wants to spend time with me. Holy. I did watch something on the Jim Jones thing the other day. It was inspiring.
Clipped.
All right, final thoughts, Mitchell. We're gonna get the hell out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Where'd Mitchell go? All right, he left. I didn't put him out. All right, I'm gonna leave it there then. Blessings to Mitchell, all the contributors and supporters in front of and behind the scenes. You are a blessing, of course. Yeah, Miles from out west. We'll be back tomorrow, somewhere between 12 and 5. MDT, look for the notification. Probably more around the area of like 1 to 3, somewhere in there. So, all right, I'm out of here, folks. Say goodnight to the bad guy. And go get something done if you haven't got something done already today. I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. I'm out of here. They're constantly double speaking like the snake in the garden, right? Trying to convince folks that if they just eat of the fruit of this tree, that they'll become like God. If you just like opt into statute, policy, and code and like don't, if you just submit, cooperate, and comply, we're all going to be safe, right? It's again the same spiritual archetype of the fork-tongued, double-speaking snake in the garden, trying to convince us to give up our true power, to do the will, to do its will in order to become safe enough that we can be like God. Well, you have to come to the organic, authentic conversion state of choosing a different belief or knowing something different to be true. I can't tell anybody else what to believe or what their conviction is.
God damn it,
I've come
Paul.
to a state at some point in my life where I realize I will govern myself. I get to make choices on what I do. No other man or woman in this realm gets to do that. Government only exists because of us. Right? We as men created it. We gave it a limited power in order to uphold our rights from folks who wish to take them. So the moment that they do not fulfill their task, the power transfers back to the benefactor / beneficiary. Government and servants don't get to decide for men and women who has what, when, why, and how. They only get to do that for themselves and folks who identify with that and opt in. Again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So most folks are ignorant of not only God, therefore they're faithless, they're ignorant of how this system works and the fact that they've opted into, with contract, a whole bunch of obligations that are advisory for men and women and only compulsory for agents of the corporation. You can't write up state code that's antithetical to the federal code, which is pursuant to the Constitution. That's called an overthrow of the law of the land. People just say shit. It's called checks and balances. Everything has to be pursuant to the highest code, which is pursuant to the highest law. Code is a codification of law. The law of the land is we have a right to pursue our happiness and do whatever we want without causing loss, injury, or harm, and as long as we pay our debts. That's what's known as the common law. And it's common fucking sense. When did the servants get rights and abilities more than the men and women they serve? I'll ask it over and over again. And the answer is when you all opted in and put yourselves on record as agents of this corporation rather than men and women on the land with natural rights, and then you acted like a slave. If millions of you on the road are going to ride around with all of the corporate identifiers and do contract with them willingly, what are they going to say when they come across me? Common practice is now the opposite of the common law, because they're going to go, all the rest of us think we have to do it. Right, you have a belief that you have to do what servants, civil servants, and a corporation tells you to do. My God and my conscience and my balls, quite frankly, between my legs as a man tell me, no, I don't.
God of all media.